4th of July, 2025 in Los Angeles, California, and all across the city, people are out in full force, celebrating America's birthday, soaking up every moment of the good vibes. It's a time to be with your loved ones and feel thankful for everything you've accomplished that year. And one man who particularly had a lot to be thankful for this year was the rapper 4Extra. An OG in the treacherous, gang-infested streets of Los Angeles, 4Extra had gone through it all. Ever since a child, 4Extra had become part of the infamous Rollin 40s neighborhood Crips, reportedly hopping off the porch just a child and facing attempted murder charges as young as just 12 years old.
Went to juvenile hall young. I went to juvenile at 12.
Okay.
I went to juvenile at 12 for attempted murder, so you know.
And getting sucked into the life of crime that would land him in prison time and time again. Becoming a legend in his hood, 4Extra faced off with some of the most dangerous rivals from some of the deadliest gangs in Los Angeles.
They're like, oh, Solano was in there. I'm like, how many? How many's out here? Pop them all out. So boom, I squabble, they get 10 right there. I squabble 10. Boom, off the back. I want to squabble all of them. I'm like, I want to squabble every here that beef with the set, that beef with the neighbors in the road. So I squabbled 10 right there.
And during his time in the streets, 4Extra racked up a rap sheet sporting some of the most serious charges that a man can face. But with the grace of God, 4Extra managed to beat double murder charges and a litany of accusations involving violence and firearms. Over the course of his time in the streets, 4Extra wound up spending around 10 of his best years behind bars. And during that time, he made a name for himself as a prolific squabbler, allegedly never turning down a fight and having a spotless record as a knockout artist who wasn't scared of taking on back-to-back fades.
I got 10 fades one time. Damn. I caught 10 fades one time. Another time, I got 9 fades.
You gotta be tired as hell by the end of that.
Hell no. No.
You getting tired after 10 fades?
No, hell no. I'm tripping. I'm working out every day. He sized up like me, boo. The homies come get me. Wow, on the set, I go over there. I get up in the cell, pop the cell. I go up in the cell. We lock up inside the cell. When we lock up inside the cell, we lock up. Bop! I catch him. He go out. Boom, he hit the ground. He knocked out, he started shaking on the ground.
Walked into the day room. 4Extra knew what happened in the day room. Police came, everything I love. For me and him to stop fighting, this walked to the door. While the police coming to the door, his hose was bleeding. The police knocking on the door, hey, what y'all here doing? He walked to the door with his hose bleeding, leaking, I swear to God, with his shirt off, and told the police nothing, we good.
If you see anyone,
you walk in there
you
right,
gotta fight.
Man, you walk in there, but right now there's 10 enemies get cracking.
Right.
Off the bat.
10 of them.
If you don't get cracking, we on your...
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
4Extra had to quite literally fight to survive, and fortunately his reputation as a fighter and local legend in his hood gave him a lucrative route to make money outside of the streets. Somehow, 4Extra managed to turn his life around when most people had probably already counted him out, not just escaping with his freedom, but making the most of that freedom and becoming a popular rapper and internet personality. 4Extra is a natural-born star. His undeniable charisma and never-ending bursts of energy made him one of the most loved and hated figures in the LA media scene, an inspiring rebirth that I got to witness firsthand.
You see what I'm saying? He's like the most overwhelming energy of any person you ever met.
If somebody walk up to you while you with me, that means they gotta be the president or something. Okay.
But little did 4Extra know that while having the time of his life during the 4th of July celebrations, that the larger-than-life, out-of-control persona that made him so popular would almost take his life away. Because true to his larger-than-life personality, this 4th of July, 4Extra wasn't planning on just shooting off a couple of Roman candles and calling it a night. He wanted to go big or go home. And armed with a couple of M80s, military-grade explosives that are the equivalent of a quarter stick of dynamite, the kind of illegal fireworks that your parents warned you about, 4Extra was ready to go viral, even jokingly telling his growing audience how he planned to blow somebody up that very night.
It's the 4th, I'm about to blow it up. Who blowing up today? Grow the off the back, I'm blowing it up. Stop playing. See these? I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you.
Unfortunately for 4Extra, literally within hours of that post, things would get more explosive than anyone could have ever bargained for. Soon, a gruesome picture of him laying on the sidewalk with what looked like his entire right hand blown off would begin spreading through the internet like wildfire. Many people couldn't even believe what they were seeing was real, but it was real, and it was no joke. Unfortunately, what followed were countless memes that flooded the internet, as it seemed easy to pile onto a man whose explosive online personality was largely based on his numerous stories of handing out beatdowns with a flawless fight record. Many people felt like this was some kind of cosmic karma, that the man who had become become famous for using his hands, fighting and knocking people out, would wind up losing his right fist in a freak accident. This incident made 4Extra more famous than he had ever been before, with him trending on Twitter, Google, and all across America, becoming nationwide news. But the true story behind 4Extra's life was so much deeper than anyone could have possibly imagined, because the persona that 4Extra was portraying wasn't an act. It was the result of decades of life surrounded by serious danger. So today, we're going to take a look back at 4Extra's story and find out how this young boy from the heart of South Central Los Angeles grew up to become one of the most famous and dangerous Crips ever to come out of the city. If you want to watch my videos uncut and extended, go to patreon.com/traplawross, where you can get those for just $2. Also, you can now watch my new drops on Spotify, so go search me there. Here's the video. 4Extra was born Rasan Trayvon Bingham in South Central Los Angeles back in 1998. 4Extra entered the world at a time when the crack epidemic was devastating communities all across America, and Los Angeles wasn't spared. The late 1980s transformed South Central into a war zone, with escalating gang violence tearing neighborhoods apart. And out of necessity, or maybe for protection, kids were getting jumped into neighborhood gang sets even before they had finished middle school.
It's not a neighborhood of tenements and back alleys and tipped-over garbage cans. It's a community of private houses and nice lawns. Not the place you imagine when you imagine a war zone. But this is home turf for some of the Crips and the Bloods, two of LA County's most vicious gangs.
LA police are getting their orders as they prepare for another assault on street gangs.
But that was before the Los Angeles Police Department declared war on street gangs in the city, and before a shooting Wednesday night.
Just dust low.
All right, hold on. Let me just ask you a question. Why are you guys Bloods? Why are you in the gangs?
Why is we in the gang? I guess because the area we grew up in, man. Everybody go in that area, man.
But in the middle of all this chaos, there was one family just trying to do everything right. 4Extra's father was a military man who had served his country and believed that education was the key to everything.
No, my dad don't, man.
He wasn't, okay.
No, hell no. He went to school, graduated and all that. You know what I'm talking about? Been to the Army. You know what I'm talking about? He believed in, education is the key.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't believe in the gang stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Surrounded by violence, gangs, and drugs, Rasan parents just wanted the best for their son.
And did you have anybody trying to keep you away from this life?
Hell yeah, my dad. My dad and my mom.
Right. So they tried to keep you away from it. It was just not really working.
I tried, you know what I'm talking about? Make sure I go to school. He trying to make sure I go to school and make sure I work like him and
This was a two-parent household with both of his folks working hard and doing everything by the book, providing what should have been an impenetrable shield from the streets. But sometimes good parents aren't enough when the surrounding environment is as wild as the treacherous hoods of South Central. Because while 4Extra wasn't born directly into gang life, he was born right next to it, and he would grow up between Vernon Avenue and Western, the streets that are right in the heart of the Rollin 40s Crips territory.
I was born and raised in South Central in the Rollin 40s. That's between Vernon and Western. Crenshaw the Fed, 49th the King. I was born over there. I went to Miller Elementary. I went to Fauché. I went to Manual, I went to Westside Academy. I went to Horseman.
The Rollin 40s are split up into 4 loosely affiliated cliques: the Avenues, Western Side, Park Side, and Dark Side, each controlling their own piece of territory.
We got 4 sides: the Avenues, Dark, Western Side, the Park Side. I'm from the Dark.
And their members are known to wear baby blue and the Florida Marlins or Milwaukee Brewers baseball team apparels to represent their gang.
See that right there? That's the glove. 40 Crip. Dead homies. But you thought I was wearing this jacket just to wear it? That's the set right there.
With this set dominating that territory through decades of violence and reputation building, they would eventually control a massive stretch of South Central, roughly from Crenshaw to Figueroa and between the Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Vernon Avenue, making them one of the most geographically dominant gangs in the area, with the FBI listing the Rollin 40s as one of the 10 most violent gangs in the city of Los Angeles back in 2009, after a major federal indictment operation would see dozens of their members hit with serious drug and gun-related charges.
Today, in coordination with our regional and federal law enforcement partners, my office has filed 5 nuisance abatement lawsuits against 6 separate properties being used by the Rollin 40 Crips to terrorize the city streets of Los Angeles. The gang has used these houses and apartment buildings as their base of operation to sell drugs, to stash guns, and to intimidate the surrounding neighborhoods. In addition to our 5 lawsuits, we are taking other measures to shut this gang down. We are meeting with 14 owners of properties in the area to educate them and assist them in eliminating gang activities, which means we're going to tell them that this is not going to go on anymore in their property, and they're going to have to take affirmative steps to stop it.
But prior to their takeover, back in the 1970s, their entire hood had originally been Fruittown Brim territory, as explained to Kev Mack by original Rollin 40s member Big Pookie.
In the early 70s,
Rollin 40 Crips, what other
they covered basically, they went from the jungles to manual arts, really. You had Michael Milkshake, Sharif, Dot, you know what I'm saying? You had Little, really all the cats from the neighborhood that now say Rollin 40s, they were actually Fruittown Brims in the beginning.
In 1975, OGs like Big Phil and other West Side Crips allegedly chased the Brims out of the area.
You know, 1975, you had Big Dexter, Big Phil, Tony J, Gregory J, and all of them, Big Dean and them, and they were pushing West Side Crip, and they brought the Crip into the hood.
Big Phil claimed both the 30s and the 40s under the Harlem Godfather Crips, and along with other OGs at the time, he was instrumental in making the area anti-Hoover, with the Hoovers, specifically the 5'2" Hoover Gangster Crips, originating around 52nd Street and Hoover Street between Vermont Ave and Figueroa Ave. At some point, Phil would ask the other Crip gangs in the area to be Harlem 40s under the Harlem Godfather Crips, and they instead formed the Rollin 40s back in the early 1980s.
Not on the map, just when y'all actually came together, like you would go somewhere and you like Rollin 40s.
I say 80, 81.
Okay, they wanted 40s just to be an extension of the 30s.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they said
and y'all just went your own way.
Yeah. At one time, that's how Phil was trying to get us to be Harlem 40s, you know, but we wasn't going for that. And so we was like, nah, so we decided that we was gonna tell all the brothers from down on the western side, the parks, and what you call the dark side right now. We had everybody come up there and we just met and just made it all one, officially.
The Rollin 40s would establish themselves as a force to be reckoned with when the crack epidemic was tearing through Los Angeles. Unlike some of the gangs that operated in isolation, the 40s built strategic alliances with other gangs under the Neighborhood Crip umbrella, an alliance of Neighborhood Crip sets across the city that gave the 40s a network of support that extended far beyond their own territory. The 40s went on to engage in brutal wars with rival Blood, Brim, and even other Rollin Crip sets, but their most notorious rivals were the Hoovers, which they fought against in their first major beef that popped off in the mid-1980s, according to Big Pookie.
I say 86, 87.
And that's around the Hoover War when that started. And how did that start?
They shot K-Rock.
Purposely, accidentally?
They just shot him. Wow. So it just went on from there.
That was it.
Right.
The war reached a brutal peak in July 1989 when a four-tray Hoover named Judah Bean made a fatal mistake that would become legend in the streets. After getting into a shootout with the Rollin 40s members earlier in the day, Judah Bean got shot in the arm. Later that evening, he rolled back up to the scene of the shooting in Rollin 40s territory and dared them to kill him. In response, the 40s executed him in the street and then ran him over with a car, crushing his chest and leaving him to die on the pavement. This was a dark and deadly world that a young 4Extra was growing up in, and while his parents were trying to keep him on the straight and narrow path, his extended family were doing the complete opposite, with connections that ran deep into the dark side, the very side that gave the entire 40s their fearsome reputation throughout Los Angeles due to their history of being particularly violent. For a kid like 4Extra, who looked up to his big cousin, already knee-deep in the gang life, it was only a matter of time before he got mixed up in it too.
I started off young though, banging, I started off young, 11, running after my cousins in the hood.
So you always were around the gaming?
Off the back, I'm born and raised in the hood.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in the hood, on Western Vernon. I'm born and raised in the set, in the 40s, South Central. Off the back, whole family from the set.
And at just age 11, he would officially get jumped into the Rollin 40s Crips. 4Extra explained that his initiation was a brutal four-man fade where he had to fight four older teenagers simultaneously.
So, boom, I jumped off the porch at 11, I got put on.
Right, and so what was that put on experience like?
I got on with people that was older than me. I was young. I got on with the homie, he was 15, the other homie was 17.
Uh-huh.
And then boom, I got on with the homies that night.
They you up bad or it was light?
Yeah, they did.
Really?
They did. Yeah, they got me. Hell yeah, what you think I put on gonna be easy?
Despite being smaller and younger, he managed to bust one of the older members' lips during the fight, earning him the nickname Extra for being ready to go the extra mile when most people would have walked away from the fight.
Yeah, that's how I got my name though.
Uh-huh.
That's how I got my name. You get what I'm saying? That's how I got my name, you know what I'm saying? I fought my homie and I bust his lip. Man, when I bust my homie lip, they was like, damn, he like, you busted lip, he backed up. He like, you want to get out again? I'm like, yeah, it don't matter. He like, he extra out.
The 4, of course, came from the Rollin 40s, and so, just like that, Rasan would officially become 4 Extra. To mark his membership, 4 Extra got a tattoo of the number 40 on his back, a permanent mark that cemented his loyalty to the 40s in blood for life. From here, he also started getting into fights at school, fighting alongside his homies against rival gangs.
You get put on, how does life change after that? You're only 11 or 12. Right?
That changed a lot, you know what I'm saying? Certain places I couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? So that changed a whole goddamn lot.
So where were you going that you couldn't go after?
Like certain schools I went to, off the back I'm fighting. You know what I'm saying? Enemies in there. You know what I'm talking about?
At just 12, his parents would find out about his gang affiliations after the principal told his father about his tattoo.
That changed a big step. My pops was hot when he found out. My pops found out when I was 12 though. He found out when I was going to school at Horseman. You know what I'm saying? The principal, I got called him in here. You know, I had a squabble. And he called him off. She like, your son bang. He like, my son don't bang. He like, your son do bang. He like, my son don't bang. He like, he do. He like, man, look at the tattoo on his back. He grabbed me and put it on my back. My homie, I did the 4 on my back. My homie Papa 40, my big homie. And when he seen the 4 on my back, he went up. I broke out the school.
Interestingly, his father ultimately accepted his son's decision to represent the set.
What was the next conversation with your dad like?
He was disappointed, but he understood. That's where my family from. That's where my friends from. That's where I'm born and raised. It was bound to happen anyway.
4 Extra's commitment to the streets would unfortunately take a toll on his education, as he would be systematically kicked out of every single school that he attended.
Oh, I damn near got kicked out of all the schools I went to. I got kicked out of Horseman. I got kicked out of Fauché. I got kicked out of Manual. I got kicked out of Carver. Then they put me in Westside Academy continuation school, and I got kicked out of that like 3 months in there for squabbing.
School expulsions were just the beginning, and barely a year after his gang initiation, 4 Extra landed himself behind bars in juvie. And while the details of the crime remain sealed under juvenile records, the alleged incident might have been a fight that brought someone to within inches of losing their life. 4 Extra would ultimately be charged with juvenile life, just as his life was getting started.
Went to juvenile hall young. I went to juvenile at 12.
Okay.
I went to juvenile at 12 for attempted murder, so you know, I started off young, squabbing and everything. You know how to go.
How'd you catch a attempted murder at 12? What happened?
It's game bang. It's part of game bang. You know how to go. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Youth Authority isn't the rehabilitation center that it's marketed to be. These facilities are packed with young gang members from across LA, creating a pressure cooker of violence, with every moment outside the cell being a potential battleground. Just as recently as March 2025, a Southern California juvenile hall was subject to scrutiny for holding gladiator-style fights amongst its inmates.
Shocking case out of a Southern California juvenile hall. 30 officers under indictment. They're accused of overseeing what prosecutors are calling gladiator fights between the teens who are in custody.
They did have multiple gladiator type fights between individuals with probation officers employed by LA County right there in the room.
And for 4 Extra, it would become a training ground where he honed the impeccable fighting skills that would define his reputation for decades to come.
Because in the halls, you ain't really gonna get it like that. In the halls, you're gonna be fighting every day. Every day. Ain't no, you go to school, as soon as you walk inside this classroom, you getting cracking. Off the back, somebody in there that you beef with. Somebody, somehow, some way. And you better get cracking. If you don't, he is. See him off the back, you know, you tell him to meet him halfway, off the back. Run and meet him halfway. You better meet him halfway. If you don't, we own you.
But even after getting out at 16, freedom was short-lived. 4 Extra would soon be back behind bars on a gun charge and eventually sentenced to another stretch in juvenile detention that would keep him locked up until he was 17.
Then I went right back. I got out at 15 and went back like, I think it was 5 or 6 months later for a gun. And then I stayed in there to 17 and I got back out.
This pattern became clear. Even from such a young age, 4 Extra could not stay out of trouble. Life behind bars was becoming more familiar to him than freedom, and over the next couple of years, the revolving door of incarceration would sadly continue. Within just 2 months of turning 18, 4 Extra would graduate from juvie to adult prison with a robbery conviction that would earn him a spot at the California state prison system.
17, going on 18, when I turned 18, I went to prison at 18 for burglary, for a flop.
Here he continued developing his fearsome reputation as a brawler.
What's the most amount of fades you had to run back to back to back to back?
I got 10 fades one time.
Damn.
I caught 10 fades one time. Another time, I got 9 fades.
You gotta be tired as hell by the end of that.
Hell no. No.
Getting tired after
No,
10 days?
No, hell no. I'm tripping. I'm working out every day.
The violence reshaped his entire being, and a throwback picture from this period would show just how intense the transformation was. But what he didn't know at the time was that his most dangerous years were still ahead of him. Years that would see him caught up in one of the most violent gang wars in Los Angeles history. While 4Extra was cycling in and out of the California prison system, the relationship between the Rollin 40s and the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips remained strong. Both sets claimed massive territories in South Los Angeles. At this time, the Neighborhood Crips Alliance prided themselves on unity, and issues between different neighborhood Crip sets were usually far and few in between. But in the summer of 2013, that unity would be broken, and 4Extra would unfortunately be caught right in the middle of the war, bringing his short run outside of the California prison system to an end once again. During the early morning hours of August the 4th, at a gathering that included a whole host of neighborhood Crip sets, a fight would break out into the street. Rollin 40s member Edwin Van Joshua, aka Tiny Crip Crazy, who was driving south on Southwestern Avenue, saw the brawl, stopped his vehicle, and joined the fight. The fight would escalate into shots being fired at 5:07 AM, and Tiny Crazy was hit. Tragically, he wouldn't make it. The rumored shooter was a member of the Rollin 60s Crips, and in response, the 40s called for blood. Just a day after the death of Tiny Crazy, members of the 40s allegedly pulled up to 10th Avenue and 60th Street, a location known as a hangout for the Rollin 60s Crips. Multiple shots would be fired, but no one was hit. But a tweet made later that same day from an alleged 60s member would make fun of the incident, calling the shots fired all airballs. But the day after that, on August the 6th, the 40s call for blood would be answered. 54-year-old Mitchell Graves was walking along the sidewalk that evening, deep in the Rollin 60s territory, when a suspect approached Graves on foot, shooting him multiple times, then fleeing to a light-colored vehicle parked on the corner of West 62nd and Madden. The Rollin 40s were believed to be behind the shooting of a seemingly innocent man. However, it would be the next deaths that followed shortly after that police would formally link to the gang war. On August the 27th, 2013, near Hyde Park in South Los Angeles, two young men, one known as Baby Crafty, real name Antonio Lee Riley, and another known as Shady Huck, real name Trayvon Jackson, were standing outside of an apartment in Rollin 60s territory when a vehicle pulled up. At least one shooter opened fire, unleashing 2 shots, followed by 20 more in an apparent effort to leave no survivors. A witness emerging from a neighborhood apartment saw people fleeing and heard a man screaming, saying they shot my nephew and my brother. When the gunfire ceased, Baby Crafty and Shady Huck, alleged members of the Rollin 60s, would lay dead, while a third victim was critically injured. These murders sent shockwaves through the neighborhood, and the families of the victims were devastated. Shady Huck's cousin would post a heartbreaking online tribute, expressing loss and questioning why his life was cut so short. Baby Crafty's father described his son as just a baby who wasn't a troublemaker and had simply been visiting a friend. Police immediately launched a manhunt for the shooters. The violence was widely rumored to have been retaliation for the murder of Rollin 40s member Tiny Crip Crazy just weeks earlier, and within a month, a suspect was in custody. According to arrest reports posted on the Cali Banging subreddit, 4Extra was actually arrested and charged with double murder in the cases of Baby Crafty and Shady Huck, plus 2 additional counts of attempted murder. The other suspect was tracked down and arrested in Weehawken, New Jersey in December 2013 and extradited to California. At just 25 years old, 4Extra was facing life in prison without parole in a high-profile case that was garnering significant media attention all across Los Angeles. The police believe the murder was indeed a gang retaliation. Some Redditors alleged that right after the murders, 4Extra and his older homies had actually posted a picture on Facebook that had since been deleted. But reportedly, it was this photo that had played a major role in 4Extra being hit with these murder charges, despite speculation that he was not actually the triggerman in the incident. Reddit commenters familiar with the issue would explain how 4Extra was apparently one of the youngest members around at the time, and that it was older members of the crew that had posted a picture that made everybody in that group wanted men. For over a year, 4Extra would fight the charges from county jail, but after more than a year of legal wrangling, 4Extra would walk out of court a free man, with all 4 charges that could have ended his life and taken away his freedom for good being dismissed. After his release, 4Extra managed to stay out of trouble for at least a small period of time. He described getting out of jail a changed man and coming back smarter and more educated.
Okay, so you're reaching the end of that prison term. How do you feel about returning to the streets? Like, where's your mentality at?
I'll return back to the streets, and I'll return back to the streets smart and educated. And when I got out, I stayed out for a cool minute. I sat out for some years.
But it wouldn't be long until violence circled back to 4Extra once again, as another brush with death would come when he was allegedly ambushed by Foboy, a fellow Rollin 40s member and alleged affiliate of Draco the Ruler's Stink Team. According to court documents, 4Extra and Foboy had gotten into an argument that escalated when 4Extra had allegedly threatened Foboy's life. Foboy didn't take this threat lightly, and instead of letting it slide, he allegedly drove to 4Extra's house and found him there sitting in his car and opened fire. 3 .40 caliber rounds tore through 4Extra's vehicle as he tried to escape, the impact so violent statement that he lost control and crashed into a telephone pole. When police arrived, they found shell casings scattered across the pavement and 4 extra bleeding out. Fortunately, he would survive the shots after being rushed to hospital by ambulance, but true to the street code that had defined him since childhood, he refused to identify the person that had just tried to end his life. Nonetheless, however, that ultimately wouldn't change things, and Foboy was later arrested and charged with the shooting of 4 extra, along with 2 other shootings, 1 a road rage shooting when no one was hit, and 2 the shooting of another Rollin 40s member named Victor Miller, who was allegedly stealing money from him. Now, interestingly, Foboy was actually charged alongside Daryl Caldwell, aka Draco the Ruler himself, his brother Ralphie the Plug, and Shells from Rollin 40s for the attempted murder of Victor Miller. However, just like 4 extra charges, the case against Foboy and his friends was later dismissed too. Foboy was also acquitted for shooting 4 extra, but a jury did convict him of shooting an occupied motor vehicle in the road rage incident, which led to him being sentenced to 7 years in state prison. But once again, narrowly escaping a brush with death, 4 extra's problems were still far from over. If anything, they were just beginning. Shortly after surviving the 2016 attempt on his life from a fellow Rollin 40, 4 extra would be back behind bars, facing life in prison again. He would later claim that the justice system was unjust, telling No Jumper that he was being painted as guilty by association.
Did all the way to now.
What you get caught up for that time?
Oh man, some shit I didn't do. And they bang me, they wash me up. They see me up the road, they wash me up.
How'd they convict you if you didn't do it?
Yeah, that's the point. You know what I'm talking about? The system is up nowadays. They convict a lot of people on the yard that didn't do nothing.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people on the yard that didn't do nothing. Hell yes, a lot of innocent people up there. But to the system, you know, to them, you guilty. You know what I'm saying? You guilty by association. Let's go back to what we was talking about earlier. Who you hang with is who you are.
This arrest stemmed from an August 2016 incident where police responded to shots fired near West Pico Boulevard and South Orange Drive. Residents reported 6 gunshots. Though the scene appeared empty initially, officers would find shell casings. Nearby residents heard about 6 shots, but officers arrived to an empty scene. After a short search, they discovered those shell casings. 5 miles away, Jeremiah Spotty Face Shaw was discovered fatally wounded in a silver Chrysler in Leimert Park, believed to have been shot in mid-city, with it believed whoever was with him had abandoned him in the vehicle. Jeremiah Shaw, aka Spotty Face, was an alleged fellow member of the Rollin 40s Crips. The killing allegedly ignited demands for retaliation within the gang, and authorities arrested 4 extra in relation to the getback. By September 25th, 2016, 4 extra was facing 4 counts of attempted murder, shooting at a dwelling or vehicle, and 4 counts of assault with a firearm, though 2 attempted murder charges were later dismissed, and he was acquitted of most counts by June 2017. However, he would still be found guilty of possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, evading the police, and participating in criminal gang activity. The convictions triggered California's 3 strikes law, ultimately landing him another life sentence in prison. He would enter the system with a hardened mindset, knowing that he was facing decades behind bars.
So how was your second time in there different than the first one in terms of like, you were able to be more positive?
No, because this time I came in with life.
Right. Oh, so you got life then?
Yeah, I came in with life this time.
Holy shit.
So I got washed up, I came in with life this time, and it was a different mind state. You know, I'm talking about I'm gonna be here for a minute.
But upon receiving the life sentence, 4 extra put in an appeal whilst in the county jail, but he would lose the case 5 years into his sentence.
For no reason. So I went down for a high pro case. You know, I was in that for like 4-5 years fighting it. So then, you know, I ended up losing.
He would then be transferred between counties for additional cases, losing each one, and processed at the Wasco State Prison, where he accepted his long-term fate.
Wasco reception and when I shot the Wasco reception, I was already washed up. You know what I'm talking about? I put my appeal in already in the county before I shook off. But you already know, so my mind was already set. I'm gonna be here for a while.
But being behind bars didn't save him from violence. If anything, it just intensified it. After 5 months at Wasco, he allegedly stabbed an inmate for, in his words, being no good, earning him yet another attempted murder charge.
24 months up inside the shoe for attempted murder and shit, popping on the yard, you know how that shit go.
Right, that part.
I told that motherfucker up though, but you know, I was up in that motherfucker years and 6 months.
This violation sent him to Pelican Bay, California's most feared prison, which 4 extra himself would later describe as the most destructive of all of the prisons that he was ever locked up in.
Well, I was in Pelican Bay. You know, that's the last yard, you know what I'm talking about? That's the last prison. That's the most destructive prison. You get what I'm saying? That's on the hill. That's the last prison. That's the prison out of all of them. Pelican Bay.
During his time here, he was placed in solitary confinement, aka the SHU, where he spent 24 months in isolation.
Oh, boom. They hit me for attempted murder, and they see me to Pelican Bay. I went to C7. I landed in C7 over there in the SHU in Pelican Bay. They gave me 24 months in the SHU.
Now the SHU was a nightmare, designed to break even the strongest minds, with a 23-hour lockdown on the 180 level 4 yard. Here, inmates were only granted 1 hour outside of their cells, and sometimes not even that if staff were missing, meaning that they would be locked down for entire days at a time.
I was at Pelican Bay.
Oh, that's right.
I was at Pelican Bay.
How many years did you do?
I was up there. I was on Pelican Bay yard for 8 years and 6 months.
How
Damn.
come they don't have a lot of people in the yard when you guys come inside?
Oh, well, you know, that motherfucker 23-hour lockdown. That motherfucker lockdown, they gonna lock it down all day, you know.
In the shoe, 4 Extra had to adapt to the possibility of instant violence without any warning.
It's off the back violence. No way around it, violence.
Right.
He described waking up at 2 in the morning, ready to get it cracking.
I wake up 2 in the morning, roll my mat up, brush my teeth, put my shit on my rack, you know what I'm saying? Get ready to work out. I work out from 2 to 6, bird bath real quick in the toilet, you know what I'm talking about? By 7, they crack my door, I'm laced up, ready to come out.
So you're on some militant shit.
You gotta be militant, you gonna be militant.
And it was during this stretch that his reputation would reach legendary proportions, as 4 Extra would have to fight repeatedly to survive, ultimately building up an impeccable fight record that would become legendary both behind the prison walls and in the streets of Los Angeles. If there's one thing that 4 Extra is known for, or at least was known for before his tragic accident this past 4th of July, it's his reputation as an infamous squabbler, a street fighting veteran who's been putting belt to ass since he was a young kid running through the mean streets of Los Angeles, and later raising hell for years in the notorious California prison system, with one early picture of 4 Extra showing his intimidating physique and massive wingspan, with one Redditor joking how he could literally slap someone from across the yard, with another one claiming how his cousin had been incarcerated with 4 Extra and claimed that he could knock someone unconscious and wake them up with another punch before they even hit the ground. 4 Extra has a near spotless record when it comes to fighting, something that he's maintained since his very first preteen squabbles, fights which hardened him into the unstoppable fighting machine that he's known as today. In fact, as 4 Extra has claimed in multiple interviews, he got his name 4 Extra that very day he got jumped into the Rollin 40s at the young age of 11 when he held down a 4-man beating from kids several years older than him. While he was getting beat up by the older guys, he would bust his lip open, showing such an unstoppable energy in the face of adversity that his friend would call him completely extra out.
That's what's up. How'd you get your name?
Oh man, I got that when I got put on. I got that name when I got put on. I got my name when I got put on, man, fighting. I was fighting my homie and stuff. I was fighting my homie. I was fighting, they was older than me. And I was young at the age, so they was older than me. So they was like 16, you know what I'm talking about? 17 and shit. They was older than me. So when I was fighting my homie, I bust my homie lip. You know, he was fresh out of YA. And I bust his lip. For me to be so skinny and young back then, for me busting his lip, the homie's like, oh shit. So they asked me like, you wanna get down again with him? So I told my homie like, yeah, it don't matter. So my homie like, he got extras. So when they said that, he like, you know what? That's his name.
Fighting played such a major role in his life that he would get kicked out of numerous schools exactly for that, specifically for squabbles.
I got kicked out of Fauché, I got kicked out of Manual, I got kicked out of Carver. Then they put me in Westside Academy continuation school, and I got kicked out of that. Like 3 months in there for squabbing.
And things would only continue to get worse after he begun to get locked up, with 4 Extra spending the majority of his teens and 20s behind bars, where he would turn into an institutionalized squabble machine who was ready to go against anybody at any time. From there on out, 4 Extra would engage in numerous infamous squabbles, mostly behind bars, that would later play a major role in building his public persona, as he and others would come out with crazy stories about his alleged wins and rumored losses. Now, while we haven't got definitive proof of all of 4 Extra's wins and losses in the ring, the legend of his fight game has been discussed for hours on end in interviews online. So what we're going to do in this video is attempt to piece together as many stories about as many different fights that 4 Extra has allegedly been involved in to get a full picture of his fighting career. One of these earliest and most contentious alleged victories or losses, depending on who's telling the story, is against Baby B Brazy, a hardcore member of the 109th Street set of the Denver Lane Bloods, who has built a fearsome reputation in the streets as well as in California's prison system with multiple alleged life sentences. Time he received for an extensive criminal record that includes multiple alleged murders, several attempted murders, and numerous firearms charges stemming from a violent crime spree in 2016, during which Brazy and his partner allegedly pulled a drive-by shooting on the Hoovers. Brazy also allegedly pulled another drive-by where he shot a man and a woman in another car, killing the man, as well as getting into a shootout with a Crip gang, allegedly robbing someone at gunpoint, and then allegedly killing a member of the Hoovers, all within just a few months' time. By the time he encountered 4 Extra in county jail, Baby B Brazy had already established himself as one of the most dangerous inmates in the system. Years later, he would also gain notoriety through his Who's Who's YouTube channel, where he exposed various LA gang members and shared stories from his time behind bars, including his version of the fight with 4 Extra. The incident began when they crossed paths in jail, with B Brazy claiming that 4 Extra arrived at his housing unit with a disrespectful attitude, announcing himself as a member of the Rollin 40s and immediately causing tension.
He came to my building. This is the only thing that happened. Came to the building, talking. You got a mouth on him. Nigga, dead homies. He just talking on the set.
B. Brazy claimed that he quickly informed 4 Extra they would need to settle their difference with their fists, leading to an organised fight in the day room with other Crips watching.
I just told him, hey, we gotta get down. Dead homies, you doing too much of my shit. We gotta get down. Nigga on the hood. Walked him to the day room, and I'm just pausing right there. 4 Extra know what happened in the day room.
Now he would also claim that he dominated the fade, leaving 4 Extra with a bloodied nose.
This walked to the door. While the police coming to the door, his whole was bleeding. The police knocking on the door, hey, what y'all in here doing? He walked to the door with his whole bleeding, leaking, I swear to God, with his shirt off, and told the police nothing, we good.
But 4 Extra has consistently disputed this account, explaining on No Jumper that he wasn't originally there to fight B. Brazy. He was apparently pressing someone else entirely who was in B. Brazy's module, leading him to feel compelled to step in and ask for a fade.
And I was pressing somebody else. I was on one. I was pressing something. I was on about another down move. And he had said, he stepped up, you know what I'm talking about? He stepped up and said, man, I feel like a buster if I let you come over here and press and don't ask for a fade.
With that, both 4 Extra and B. Brazy stripped off their shirts and squared up with 2 of his homies present.
So we went in the day room. I was with 2 of my homies from 30s. It was 2 of my homies from 30s, a homie from Park Village, and 2 of his homies. You get what I'm saying? We went in the day room. You get what I'm saying? I peel out. He peel out. I'm waiting. He waited, I'm like, you ready? He like, yeah.
4 Extra claimed that he dominated the fight and landed multiple clean punches, including one to B. Brazy's ribs that would force him to take a break and get water mid-fight.
I sock him up more. I hit him in his ribs. He started spinning up. I'm like, bro, I'm like, Braze, come on. And you know, Braze, you watching this, exactly what happened. That he said, I smoke, 4 Extras, you don't smoke.
4 Extra would also make it clear that he purposely didn't knock B. Brazy unconscious or seriously injure him because he considered the Denver Lane Bloods allies rather than enemies.
Bro, nobody got knocked out, bro. You get what I'm saying? I socked on him. You get what I'm saying? I didn't knock him out. I didn't split him open. I wasn't trying to do him bad because we with lanes, bro. You get what I'm saying? I told him straight, he said, yeah. And that's the truth right there because that's my homie.
Shortly after 4 Extra's response was posted on No Jumper, B. Brazy would fire back, claiming that the fight happened more recently, specifically on the very day that 4 Extra beat his court case, not over a decade ago like 4 Extra claimed.
The day he beat his case is the day me and him hit. Jesus Christ. I don't know if he just trying to make some shit up or whatever.
And while he did acknowledge that he did drink water during a pause in their fight,
I'm like, yeah. On the hood. After, I probably did drink some water. Matter of fact, I said I did. I drank some water. It was no spit, no shit. I drank some water after we hit like two rounds, whatever.
He would maintain his earlier version of the story that 4 Extra was the only one who ended up bleeding before police intervention would bring the fight to an early end.
We make so much noise, the police come. Police come. Boom. He's so like, you know, so pumped up. You know what I'm saying? He go to the door and tell the police, hey, we good.
Ultimately, as is the case with many prison stories, there's always 2 biased sides to the tale, and the truth falls somewhere in the unknown middle ground. But perhaps no fight in 4 Extra's record has generated more back and forth than his alleged knockout of Jab 5, an incident that would eventually draw in family members and lead to accusations of fabrication on both sides. In late 2023, not long after getting released from prison, 4 Extra began talking publicly about his most known fight to date, a jail squabble against the young Hoover rapper Jab 5, who was making a lot of noise in the LA music scene in the early 2020s. Jab 5 is known not only as a strong fighter who has a background in boxing, but also as an alleged shooter as part of the 107 Hoover criminal gang. And he would unfortunately be locked up in late 2021 after catching attempted murder charges. But lucky for Jap, he would seemingly end up taking a plea deal and is eligible for a parole already in March 2026. But anyway, the fight was first brought up during 4 Extra's October 2023 interview on the Drinks with Jinx YouTube channel, where a person from 4 Extra's inner circle, Lupe Gotti, who's best known for managing the career of Crip Mac, another one of the most infamous Crips of recent years, would bring up that 4 Extra had some major notches on his belt when it came to the squabble game.
But tell me one of your most, I know you fought somebody that, you know.
Oh, a lot of off. I done a lot of off in the county.
Right.
You know what I'm talking
about?
About
The famous rappers, I know you fought one of them.
Oh, which one are you talking about? Jap from where?
The Snoop.
Oh, from Hoover?
Yeah.
Oh, he a rapper now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
He was.
Yeah, man. He's talking about the young kid, man. You know?
Perhaps not by coincidence, Jap 5 has previously squabbled Lupe's friend Crip Mac, who famously has a large Hoover killer tattoo right in the middle of his forehead. And Jap would apparently win the fight, as Crip Mac himself would admit.
Now, you gotta think about it, 'cause I was bigger and I didn't have much wind, so I'm keep swinging on Huster cut tired me out. on neighborhood Crip. And then that's when Cuz came with just a couple vicious punches. The chin called neighborhood Crip the temple, and then Cuz hit me somewhere right here, Cuz I couldn't breathe, I fell.
According to 4Extra, he was around 26 when the fight with Jap 5 happened, while Jap was seemingly about 19, which means that the fight would have taken place in the mid-2010s, perhaps either before 4Extra's release for his murder case in 2015 or right after his 2016 arrest for multiple counts of attempted murder. In any case, after the fight with Jap 5 was brought up, 4Extra would boast how he had hit him so hard that Jap had flown over a table.
I heard he got hands.
Yeah,
though. I heard he got hands.
Have it that day. Oh, ain't have it that day.
Oh,
ain't have it that day.
Yeah.
I knocked his ass so hard, then he flew over the table.
He would also claim that Jap was trying to cop pleas before the fight and say that he was only 20, but 4Extra was apparently not having it, before adding that he wasn't even aware that Jap 5 was a rapper now.
You know, he came through, you know what I'm talking about? He came in the dorm and shit, little kid.
Yeah.
You know, the little kid came up in that motherfucker, called it little dumb, you know what I'm talking about? Sliding through, he's, 4Extras, I'm only 20, so what the f that got to do with me?
Right.
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. That
You know what I'm saying? But
That
shit,
part.
I didn't know he was a rapper. He's a rapper now? God damn, times changed. I've been gone.
Within a few days after the release of the interview, Jap 5's stepdad, known as OG Cartoon, would respond to 4Extra's claims, including posting a response video on his own YouTube channel, where he told Jap 5's version of what had happened, explaining how at the time, Jap 5 was not only about 10 years younger than 4Extra, but also significantly smaller in size.
First though, this dude is 10 years older than Jap. When Jap came to county, when this incident took place, Jap came to county jail, he was 19. 19. Now at 19, the Jap 5 that y'all know of today, the Jap 5 that y'all see today, that was not him at 19 years old. At 19 years old, like you say, he was a young kid. He you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the muscles. He didn't have all that. You know what I'm saying? He had his skills though. He was a little small dude. Now this dude is like 5-6 inches taller than Jap, which he said himself. You know, Jap a little kid, and you know, he said himself a little kid. Now this dude is way taller than Jap. And at the time, he outweighed him by about 80 pounds.
Because of this, 4Extra allegedly said that Jap would need to squabble against his young partners, as Jap had allegedly been put to a so-called in-hood cell block full of Rollin 40s and other neighborhood Crips.
But now, so when I asked Jap, I say, cuz, look, what happened? He say he came to the block. He say it was an in-hood block. So he knew he had phase to run. So he said the dude 4Extra come up on him and like woo. He say 4Extra asked him, man, how old are you? And Jap told him, man, I'm 19. So now, like in the interview, you know, the dude 4Extra talk about Jap out of nowhere, talk about, man, I'm only 20 and woo. Or what that got to do with me? Jap say it didn't go like that. Jap say the dude walked up and asked the man, you know, how old are you? He say, told him, man, I'm 19. He say the dude told him, he say 4Extra told him, he say, man, look, you too small for me, but I got some little homies that you gonna get down with.
And Jap would allegedly get down, running through 3 squabbles, apparently beating every single opponent, which would enrage 4Extra, who had just seen his homies taking a savage beating.
He fought 1, he fought 2, he fought 3. Now, he said he ran through the dude homies. He said he ran through them 3. He say the dude 4Extra get mad because his little homies got dropped.
4Extra would then allegedly take off on Jap 5 without warning, before even giving him a chance to catch his breath, which would cause a Rollin 40s member to intervene from the sidelines and call off the fight.
And he come over there, you know what I'm saying, you know, wah, and just took off. He tried to dope fiend Jap. Big as he is, young as Jap was, small as Jap was, he tried to dope fiend him because he mad because Jap ran through his little homies. Okay, in the process, boom, he taking out. Now Jap told me, he say, Toon, I'm trying to tell the dude, hold on, let me catch my breath, let me get some air. You know what I'm saying? Let me breathe. He say, dude didn't want to hear none of that. He say, dude just trying to get off on him. Boom. So the dude, you know, was hitting him, and he say he drove him back. He say it's a dude from 6-0 came in and broke it up. Like, hold up, man, hold up. Told the dude first, he say, man, hold up, man. Say the dude just got finished fighting 3 of your homies. He say, now, here you come. He say, the dude from 6-0 told him, you too big for him.
OG Cartoon would tell that Jap had mentioned a few names who 4Extra had squabbled with behind bars but lost, including a guy named Fatbox from 5-1 Trouble, which is a Hoover set located close to the Rollin 40s territory, as well as a guy named Infant Twin from 107 Hoover Criminals, which is Jap 5's set further south.
Well, dang, but now one of the things I asked Jap, I'm like, did old boy ever get down with anybody else other than you? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, well, what's up? He say the dude got maxed out by a dude from 5-1 Trouble named Fatbox. I'm like, huh? He like, yeah, he say Tune, if he on the internet talk about what he's supposed to so-called did to me, he said tell the world how Fatbox from 5-1 Trouble walked him. I'm like, what? Then he say Tune after he called himself getting down with me. He say my homeboy Infant Twin from 107 got down with him, because now I knew Infant Twin. Him and Jap ran together. Infant Twin a big dude. He say Infant Twin got down with him from 107 and beat him up.
About a month later, 4Extra would once again be asked about the fight, this time by Cam Capone News, and 4Extra would respond by claiming that the version that Jap 5 had told his stepdad was a lie, and that there had never been 3 fades before their squabble, nor had Jap been put to an in-hood cell block full of neighborhood Crips.
And I guess, his step-pops responded back with some lies, whatever his stepson told him. But they ain't on his step-pops though, because he didn't know. He was going by what his stepson told him. But I had to set the record straight, you know what I'm saying?
4Extra would also provide more details about the fight, explaining how he had been moved to a new dorm after spending some weeks in solitary confinement for beating another person up, and a few weeks later, Jap 5 arrived there too. The two would instantly bump heads due to Jap being a Hoover, a mortal enemy of the 40 Crips, with 4Extra then providing his infamous Falcon Punch that would apparently send Jap 5 flying over that table.
I got out the hole, I've been out the hole for like 3 weeks up to a month for getting over. So I landed 812. So like a week or 2 later, he land there. So he come in, bang on him. Where you from? Hoover, 40 Crip. We gotta get in. Dead home, you gotta get in, go to the back. So we go to the back after, doing chow and lunch and pass our thing, going to the stairs. I'm talking about where we squabble at. Dead homies immediately get up in there, what? 40 Crip. Get the squabbling, get cracking and boom, I crack him, he fly over the table. You get what I'm saying? We like, hold on, all this.
But once again, with so many dueling narratives, it's hard to know truly how things really went down for real. But of course, 4Extra's fighting days were far from over, and his next infamous squabble wouldn't be with the Hoovers, but instead one of the most infamous sets of the Bloods. During one of 4Extra's more recent stints in jail in December 2024, rumors would begin to spread that he had gotten into an altercation with an Inglewood family Blood member named Deuce Flame, with the Bloods claiming that he had socked 4Extra and knocked him out. Lupe Gotti would then post a jail call response from 4Extra on Instagram, where 4Extra would claim that he had not only knocked out Deuce Flame, but that he had done so several times.
Rollin Crip, KMG the Credo, Rollin Crip, Big Gervonta Davis, Tank, got a tank on Keyway. Yeah, Big Knuckles been great for all these coaches. You already know what we doing, ladies. Put shit down every time we touch them on Big Tall Cuz from the 90 Crip gang. You know what's going on, the Tall Crip. Put Cuz on the spot, just cut it even though we was from. Nobody goes, boy, gangsters. He knocked Cuz out. He was banging blood, knocking him out. Boy, everything in there, cut a nigga go out. Everything. Oh, that shit, homies. What Cuz need to do is go heal up right now on neighborhood Crip. Cuz sleep on Rollin game. Let's tell Cuz we got high school. If he got the medical pad, whatever he got in his field, let's go heal up on Crip. I don't know how y'all look up to that. That got knocked out back to back to back. Tell that Cuz. Go heal up. Tell we got high school. Another one for the whole team. Neighborhood.
Numerous LA gang members would take to the net to give their take on what had actually happened, but 4Extra himself would get out not long after this and would soon get on No Jumper to tell the whole story of what had happened, again claiming that he had knocked out Deuce Flame a total of 3 times.
Dead homies. We on Crip Alley Road. All the Crips out. You know, I'm talking about 10 Bloods right there. Dead homies. Boom. Off the back, I'm already on him. You get what I'm saying? He like, oh, I immediately, I peel on 40 Crip. Dead homies. What
Peel
niggas
your shirt off.
Yeah, immediately. What you talking about? Dead homies on 4 on first. I look at him like, what up? He like, oh, come on, dead homies, come in the cell. 40 Crip, we get up in there. I tell him, you ready? He like, yeah. Boom, bam. Put him on his pockets. Drop him. Bro, get up. Boom, bam. Sock him out again. Pocketed it again.
Oh, no.
I'm like, get up, cuz. I'm not gonna follow, squabble me. Like, give me a squabble. You know what I'm talking about? Like, fight, dead homies. I don't want, like, cause people be tense and like be scared. Like, dead homies. So 40 Crip scrub again. Bam. I clip him, he go out. In the corner right there by the thing. Dead homies. So I stood, I'm like, I hit him with his own. I'm like, blood, you don't wanna fight me. Get up out of here. He get up. I'm like, what they call you? Yeah, Deuce Flame. I'm 4X from Westside 40. Get up out of here.
He would also tell about his reaction after finding out that people had allegedly got online and lied about the result of the fight, claiming that Deuce Flame had lied to impress a girl.
And the homie like, hey, cuz, my just said the just posted something. Posted what? And then get on the internet lying. Talking about he beat me up. But dead homies, tell it I moves. Go pull him back out. Nigga, you buster on a dead homie, you gonna get on the internet lying, talking about you. Oh, I didn't do it. My homies did it. Oh, you told your homies. Oh no, I was just dead homies. Bring your there. Oh, I'm trying to heal. You ain't trying to heal nothing. Come down here, dead homies. I'm telling him, come down here on the dead homie. I'm about to knock his ass out and whoop him again. Dead homies, bring your scary down here. You wanna run to the internet, and then to come to find out, the nigga said on the dead homies on the internet, they saying he did it for a bitch.
To make himself look good in front of a girl.
He doing it for a bitch. I'm like, you did this for a bitch. I'm thinking them was doing it because he from families and I'm from 40s. So this not even doing it for his gang, he doing it for a bitch.
This would then allegedly result in 4Extra offering Deuce Flame another generous whooping.
So he come down.
You ran it again.
They go to, 40 Crip was even that on. He gonna lose his life and I'm gonna take it. So the dead homies, he coming on. I whoop him so bad.
Right.
I whoop him, and while I'm talking to him, I'm blooding him. Come on, blood. I'm socking him out, blooding him. Socking him out, saying his own words on him. Come on, did you say it's Inglewood family? Get your ass up. Oh, my shoulder out of place. On 40 Crip. I ain't no internet. You wanna get on the internet? I'm gonna f you over.
But this time, 4Extra would also come with receipts, playing an audio recording that he claims proves that he won the fight.
I ain't with the internet. Listen, keep listening. I'm telling you, what we doing, blood? Is we in, out? You like, oh, my shoulder out. We in or out?
Have you ever popped your shoulder out?
Nigga,
I have a lot of sympathy for that. That is
I
like,
hit it with his own
you could never fight when you have your arm hanging out.
I hit it with his own What we doing, blood? We in, out, we fight or not? I don't give a f about your shoulder. You should have thought about that when you got on the internet line. Rewind it back for y'all.
4Extra would also reveal that the way he had received the recording was due to Deuce Flame being on the jail phone with his girl while 4Extra had come to press him, with the girl allegedly recording the call, which would then somehow make its way to 4Extra.
Then, you know the cold part about it on the set, the homie was on the phone. The homie was on the phone with his. And when everybody came,
that's how you got the audio.
Look, the homie on the phone with his. So when it came down on the hood, I'm in the alleyway. So when we came in to go in the cell and squabble, this put his phone down and it was recording. But the cold part about it is good.
So you did you a big favor, yeah.
Because you exposed a buster. You exposed it to be lying.
While this is arguably the most documented fight of 4Extra's career, even the muddy audio recording makes it hard to fully get the picture of how things truly went down. However, there's a number of other rumored fights that 4Extra has claimed to have been involved in over the years. In interviews with Cam Capone News and No Jumper, he would describe fighting 10 rivals back to back in a Hoover dorm after demanding they be brought out.
Called 10 phase 1. I went into the module on the 4,000 floor. I got 10 fades off the back. Went up in there, told him like, where you from? Oh, bam. I'm like, how many of y'all in here? Well, bring them all. Brought 10. Got 10 fades right there back.
What enemy dorm was this?
That was the Hoover dorm.
He was like, oh, what? You how many? 10? Bring them on. They brought 10.
10 Hoover dudes back to back to back.
It don't matter. It's either you tripping or you not. Which one you doing is on you. I'm tripping.
During one of his No Jumper appearances, 4Extra would go into a hilarious monologue about fighting someone in jail while completely naked.
So boom, they send me straight to the county jail. Boom, I get straight to the county jail. Boom, I go through processing. I bang on boop bop, boop bop. Ask niggas where they from, bop. We get in the showers. I see another nigga with some shit on him. I see a op off the back. I see him. I'm like, where you from? I'm like, oh, Vernon Avenue, we about to get in.
So not an op you already knew, just someone.
Off the back.
But you never seen him before in your life.
Oh yeah, no, off the back. No. So boom, we naked though. We naked. So naked in the shower. On 40 Crip, I was just talking to my homie the other day about this. We naked in the shower though. You know, cause you know, in a long shower, when you get processed in, they take all your clothes off you, they put them in the thing, then they put you in this big long shower. Right. Y'all can take showers, then y'all get y'all clothes and you go around. Okay. So we in a long shower, we so naked, dead homies immediately.
There's not like a rule against fighting while you're naked?
Man, that's a West Side 40s. That get right up on him. Boom, bam on the dead homies. I'll whoop him, knock him out naked, dead homies. Off the back. It don't matter where you at in that. Off the back, I'm getting cracking.
A 9'4 Hoover named Young Hawk, on the other hand, would come out with his own story with 4Extra during his appearance on the Wack and Adam show on No Jumper, claiming that 4Extra had come to his cell block all the way back in 2012 when he was still in his early 20s and challenged Hawk to a squabble through a kite, meaning a written message passed between inmates.
He hit my tier, and you know, we do the little exchange or whatever. I'm like, all right, we gonna holler. He go to his cell. Boom, I'm finished telling the story. He interrupt me though. Like, hey, Hoover. I'm like, what's happening? He like, hey, what cell you in? I'm like, I'm in cell 4 or whatever. He sent me a kite. He like, hey, I need that fool. Like 40 Crip.
A fight letter.
On my mama.
Not a love letter. A little fight letter.
But I respected it though.
So he wrote you that. I need that 40 Crip request.
I let my cellies read the kite.
That's like a poke on Facebook.
I'm like, man, I let my cellies read the kite. I'm like, man, look, check this out. Like, but in the kite, he was real, like, descriptive on what it was. Like, we gonna program, bro. Like, you talking about my homie, 40 Crip. That's my homie. You feel me? On glove. I'm like, all right, bet. We gonna program.
The fight was agreed upon during the next morning shower time, but when the morning came, the plans would change as the common shower time was called off.
The next morning came, lights come on. Boom. Showers delayed. So we know what that means. You feel me? We not getting showers. They finna run wayside.
4Extra would then allegedly tell Young Hawk to refuse the so-called wayside line, meaning a heightened security protocol where inmates are escorted while restrained in waist chains so that they can meet up later. But he would then allegedly join the line himself, making the fight never happen, which Hawk would seemingly take as 4Extra ducking the fade that he himself had asked for.
And if we do get showers, it's gonna get pushed back. But hey, Extra, what's happening? Hey, they call you for the wayside line, bro. You feel me? Stay back. Refuse that. Bet. 40 Crip. All right. Boom. You feel me? They call the wayside line. His name is my homie last name. You know what I mean? Like,
he knew the name.
Man, at that
So
time,
they called the wayside line. He went on the wayside line.
He came out with a bedroll. You feel me? And I'm at the gate like what's happening? He like,
now, that's gonna be the discrepancy right there. He's gonna say
he went to wayside, bro. I swear to God.
He probably told you gonna just get out with your homies up
That's
there.
what he did say. That's exactly what he said.
He's gonna get super pissed in this story even being told. Like,
4Extra would also get into a major online beef with a white rapper from Dallas, Texas named Jin Lee, after Jin would defend his use of the N-word, which Adam22 would play to 4Extra during one of their podcasts.
You got the screen?
It's Jin Lee. You know, I've been going viral the past couple of days, so I just want to say a couple of things. First thing first, if y'all watched that fucking video, bro, and y'all heard anybody in that room say the N-word, y'all heard, if y'all's ears heard anybody say the N-word, y'all sick out y'all motherfucking mind, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody say the N-word around me getting packed the fuck out. What is you talking about?
He said, anybody
For
say
me,
the
I'm
N-word packed up.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't say no N-word. I said, what is you talking about? And I'm around a bunch of my. You know what I'm saying? And really like that. Really got that on us. Really in the hood every day. Y'all marching up the wrong street. Y'all want to be Al Sharpton and MLK and all. Man, y'all need to go by the courthouse.
All right, pause right there. Pause.
This would set 4Extra off, who would start going in on Jin Lee with some colorful insults.
Look, check this out, Harry Potter.
He don't look like Harry Potter.
Check this out.
You sumo wrestler.
You call him something
You
better
hear
than
me?
that, right?
Well,
I don't know what
check
exactly.
this out. You know, I got
Sumo
one for
wrestler.
you. You know what I got for you? Check this out, you fat Snorlax off Pokemon. Check this out, you fat Snorlax off Pokemon. Now you got me talking to you like this. I done heard this. You hear me? You hear me, fat boy? You looking at me? Zoom in, because I know you about to troll me after this. You little fat little motherfucking Snorlax. Take your little Harry Potter looking Snorlax back on the camera and just say, look, I didn't mean that. I apologize, because you got like me out here that will put your little fat on your pocket with your little fat and make you shit on yourself.
A few days later, Jin Lee himself would be on No Jumper, where Adam22 would bring up 4Extra's comments towards Jin, saying how 4Extra had basically called out Jin for a fade, to which Jin would respond saying that he was not ducking a fade, but he didn't really have a problem with 4Extra.
And he made it clear that whatever fade you're looking for, he felt like because he doesn't agree with you saying the N-word, that he felt like a fade would be necessary or appropriate.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I ain't never ducking a fade. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going at it like, oh, I want to smoke with you. But we can definitely just, you know, shoot the ones. You know what I'm saying? This is sport, bro. This is sport, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't studying.
So
4Extra would then get back on No Jumper again to address Jin, exposing how Jin had apparently been sending blue heart emojis to him on the DMs, as they both share a background in the neighborhood Crips, with Jin being a Dallas Rollin 40s member, which is apparently why 4Extra would seemingly not want to comment on the matter more publicly.
Talking about this guy right here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
He's a big guy.
You right? You see him?
Yeah.
All right, now look what he just sent me in my DMs, in my friend request. Everybody pay attention to this. Zoom in on the camera. You see it, what's the name? Zoom in. He said that, right?
Yep.
Hold on, let me go back to it. Zoom in. You want to zoom in? Yeah.
I'll take a picture right here.
All right, yeah.
Wow. Boom. He sent a couple blue hearts. I think he f***s with you, though.
Bro, you can't be asking for violence, bro, sending blue hearts.
But you can fight and love someone, right? You can fight someone you love.
Bro, you can't, just like, I don't even know how to respond to this. Like, so he a homie. So neighborhood, we just talk on the phone, bro. I'm gonna leave that for the streets. Neighborhood.
But things wouldn't end there, because Adam22 would then have Jin Lee back and connect him on FaceTime with 4Extra. And this time 4Extra would immediately begin to tell Jin that he has to come to the hood, which Jin would obviously take as an invitation to come and run a fade.
What up, bro? Look, I got your brother here. Oh, that's 4Extra.
Yeah, 4Extra here, neighborhood.
What's cracking? How you living?
Hey, you should have told me you was coming. I would have came up there.
Oh, I missed out. That's a good idea.
He said that's a good idea.
Hey, it could be this week. He's gonna still be out here.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm leaving tomorrow, but I can come back.
Oh, okay, yeah. We gotta bring him to the turf.
All right, for sure. Hey, you hear me?
Nah, he said 6 years is not
Come to the turf. You gotta pull up to
He crazy in the
fingers in the thumb.
Huh?
You banging neighborhood. For sure gotta come to the turf.
I'm going to the 60s. What you talking about?
Nigga, the same pull up.
He said, nah, it ain't.
Hey,
from 6 Nah, but we it's 30 to the 100 stuff.
30s to the 100s.
Hey, you a real neighborhood. Come to it right now.
Ultimately, the fans have still yet to see 4Extra fight in the flesh, but I personally have zero doubts on his squabbling abilities. However, as you'll find out in the next part of this story, fans got very close to seeing 4Extra entering the ring to fight in a professionally organised boxing match right before the tragic accident made that a little bit more difficult. But soon, his time behind bars will be up for the time being, and he would take a brief pause from his squabbling career to focus on growing his profile as a podcast and music star. Because after nearly a decade of incarceration, 4Extra successfully filed a Romero motion to overturn his life sentence, and on June the 27th, 2023, he walked free, stepping into a world very different from the one he left behind, and beginning to build himself a bright future and clearing a path away from the life of crime, becoming one of the most viral figures in hip-hop media. 4Extra would come out of prison and enter a world transformed by social media's grip on street culture. In the years that he'd been incarcerated, countless LA podcasts, interview platforms, and YouTubers emerged, providing punditry commentary on gang and street culture. From No Jumper's gripping sit-down discussions with hardened gang members, Cam Capone's riveting talking head interviews with the city's most notorious street figures, Street TV making full-blown vlogs in the hoods of LA, and channels like Hood Politics making mini documentaries on the local gang wars, just to name a few. This was a whole new landscape where charismatic figures could monetize their reputations in the streets through viral storytelling, and 4Extra was perfectly positioned to capitalize on this new reality. He immediately recognized this new opportunity and began crafting his personal brand. His first major appearance in the public eye came through an interview with Drinks with Jinx, hosted by Jinx alongside Lupe Gotti, another legend of the LA media landscape who was instrumental in the viral rise of 55th Street Crip Mac. In his first interview, 4Extra expressed gratitude for this second chance at life after years of incarceration.
We're trying to get the motherfucking bag.
That's right. That's right.
Just right now, some Pelican Bay was washed up out of life.
Right.
I was up in that motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? They overturned my shit, let me out. So they gave me another chance at this motherfucking life. So,
right.
You know, I'm trying to get it right. You know what I'm talking about? Get the bag and get the you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
He would reveal that he was apprehensive about doing interviews initially, claiming to have turned down other podcasts due to hosts asking suspect questions.
My motherfucking first interview.
And ain't nobody reached out to you, bro?
A couple of people reached out and shit, but I ain't got time for all that editing and all these motherfuckers.
Right.
I ain't got time for
weird
that
questions.
Ain't got weird questions.
Suspects.
It's a lot of suspects.
4Extra described the surreal whiplash of transitioning from a prison cell to being on a popular show.
It's crazy because I was just in the motherfucking cell, washed up, and now I'm out on the motherfucking show, famous
on Drink with Jinx, man. Damn,
Bucky
bro.
Stitches on my song.
Despite feeling like this was a strange thing to do, considering his past, 4Extra's personality was immediately podcast gold. The interview would go viral, racking up over 200,000 views, with comments flooding in praising his authentic energy, calling him the next big thing on the internet. The interview established 4Extra as a magnetic storyteller whose uncompromising authenticity and carefree comical personality resonated with audiences around the world. This momentum aligned perfectly with shifts in popular media, where platforms like Adam 22's No Jumper was turning street personalities into podcast celebrities, with Crip Mac being a golden example of this transformation. Adam 22 had actively been searching for the next big street figures to turn into viral podcast hosts, and as it would turn out, 4Extra would prove to be exactly what they were looking for. On January the 2nd, 2024, 4Extra walked into the No Jumper studio for what would become his most viral interview yet. Sitting across from Adam 22, he would explain that since getting out of jail, he had been focusing on transitioning into his media career, doing interviews and music, and trying to use his platforms responsibly.
I'm out. I got out June 27th. I've been doing right now, I've been on my stuff. I've been doing good. It feel good. They overturned my stuff and let me out. Cut off the yard. I was in Pelican Bay. I had all day up there. I was stuck up there on the hill. They overturned my stuff and let me out. I've been getting my thing out there. I've been doing these interviews, getting my voice out there, talking to, for the real ones that's on the yard that's stuck.
Right. So you very much are evangelizing on behalf of the people behind the walls these days.
That's for sure. That's for sure. For sure. Everybody know me. This ain't nothing new. Everybody know me. Whoever watching this right here,
right?
Everybody know me. For sure. I'm real known.
Okay.
Well known.
Interestingly, revealing in the interviews that he doesn't drink or smoke, a rarity in the lawless streets controlled by gang members who often have little regard for the law or their own health, mind, and body.
Like that. Never smoke, never drink, never did drugs, never did none of that.
What made you never want to smoke or drink?
Well, growing up in my house, I just it was never like that,
One comment on the video would joke that he doesn't need drugs because he's already crazy. He would let everyone know about his reputation in the hood.
You know what I'm saying? I love to say, everybody that's watching this, they know who I am. This ain't no mystery. For sure, I'm well known. Pretty sure you did your research and know that already. You get what I'm saying? I love
your
to say.
Your name rings bells.
Off the back, it ring bells.
They either with you or they really don't.
Because I probably terrorized them.
Exactly, yeah.
His storytelling ability combined with his unflinching honesty about his past created content that was impossible to ignore. 4Extra was emboldened by his reputation from the streets, and he made sure to make the most of it. Another comment said that Crip Mac had walked so that 4Extra could fly. And his trademark catchphrase "off the back" quickly went viral too. Riding this wave, 4Extra also begun pursuing music seriously. His first song, Who I'ma Call, released on August 1st, 2024, pulled in about 66,000 views and introduced his musical style to the audience. On October the 18th, 2024, he would follow this up with his hit single and most successful song yet, Off the Back, capitalizing on that viral catchphrase, Off the Back. And that would rack up an impressive 500,000 views, with people in the comments saying that it was the perfect track to play when pulling up to your ops to let them know that you're tripping. On January the 20th, 2025, the much teased song and music video, 4Extra's track Off the Back, was finally released, featuring Compton AV and Remble on the track too. 4Extra turned this catchphrase into a catchy chorus of the song, going back and forth with his homie Compton AV and boasting how and now that he's out of jail and going viral, he's got the city lit off the back, and letting the world know that he's finally made it out the trenches and is getting rich off the back of his newfound social media fame, that is. In his verse, 4Extra stayed true to his rambunctious personality on the podcast mic and let listeners know how he was really living, rapping how he's really tripping on his ops, how he's cripping hard for the Rollin 40s, and how he's always got it on him and is never slipping, of course, off the back. He would go on to pay homage to the Rollin 40s and their infamous logo, saying who got love for the glove, with close-up shots of the video showing 4Extra's impeccable solid gold glove chain too. And he would also be showing love to his allies from the Bloods as well, shouting out Mozzie, and as usual, showing love to some of the most infamous streets from the hood, saying that the 40s get love from Crenshaw to Fig, from the Hub to the Dub, with the Hub being a nickname for Compton, aka the Hub City, while the Dub being a nickname for the neighborhood of Watts. The music video for Off the Back was yet another platform for 4Extra to showcase his larger-than-life personality, as well as his respected position in the hood. He appears at the beginning of the video in a skit where he jokes that someone told him he can't beat everyone up, so instead he says he'll get to shooting at their hats.
Hey, this said I can't beat everybody up. Can't do that. I told her, well, f it, I'll blow a logo off his hat.
The video portrayed 4Extra like a true hero or general in his hood. He would be seen in various scenarios surrounded by his people, and Adam22 would make a cameo in the music video as well. Adam would vlog his visit to the Rollin 40s to appear in this cameo, showing fans just how active things could really get on their block.
They said I wouldn't do it. Here we are. We on the block. We in 4Extra's neck of the woods. Had to see what was cracking. What's happening?
Came to the block,
Hey, they told me not to go there.
Oh, Vernon Avenue, I don't know why not. You know you welcome in the set. Yeah, I'm set. You already know where it's at. Vernon Avenue in the hood. Dead homies. Come over here on fall. Might lose your life. Unless you with Adams, he might give you a pass. You gonna give him a pass?
Yeah, you can get a pass. Yeah.
The video for Off the Back reached close to 500,000 views in just 6 months, and people in the comments were loving 4Extra's musical efforts, and many had really appreciated how he had beaten a life sentence and was back out doing something positive and building a genuine music career. Other people seemed to really respect 4Extra doing something positive and finding a legal way to get money and feed his family. And in general, many people simply loved the catchy song and 4Extra's big personality on the mic, with some saying that the song got so stuck in their head that they found themselves randomly yelling off the back and begging 4Extra to not stop making music. A lot of people seem to respect Adam22 for being so brave to even go to 4Extra's hood for this shoot, with someone saying that he was now officially a Rollin 40s member too, and others rightfully respected Adam's eye for talent, saying that he had discovered yet another superstar in 4Extra. There were some rumors that the corner that Adam was on was an incredibly deadly one, and that violence occurred soon after the video's shoot went down.
Adam22 went to the 40s and did a vlog, had a grand old time. Afterwards, people start hitting me up and telling me, Adam, that corner you was at, that's a block where it's known to go down at. Like, that's a really crazy place to be posted up at. Never mind walking on the streets filming a music video. Would that be your understanding? Because from my perspective, it seems super chill, but also, I mean, yeah, it's chill until it ain't chill.
You was on
43rd and Vermont, or Vernon, or what? Vermont.
You was yeah. That's by VV's. Yeah, go down right there. But
shout out Jerry's Liquor. Okay, so Wack calls me the day after. He goes, "You ain't going over there anymore." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because 3 bodies got dropped over there the day after you pulled up." I'm like, "What?" I had literally been on FaceTime with 4Extras like moments before this, and he's jubilant as always. I'm like, where are you getting this information? I haven't had time to like follow back up on it, but
wrong.
It's got to be wrong, right? Like we would have seen this on social media.
Fortunately, these claims were apparently embellished, and Adam22's presence in the 40s did not start a neighborhood gang war, despite anything that Poetic Flacco might try and tell you. 4Extra was now making waves as both a media personality and as a rapper, later collaborating with other artists like Tommy Guns, Blanco15, and Doughboy909 on the track Gang Slide, released on June the 18th, 2025, which racked up over 250,000 views on YouTube, building a musical portfolio that complemented his growing media presence and showcased his artistic legitimacy beyond podcast appearances. I even told 4Extra when we went to the LA Zoo that if he could create just one viral party hit, he could truly become one of the most buzzing rappers in LA and begin charting on Billboard. As 4Extra's fame rose throughout 2024, he became a regular presence on No Jumper live streams, interviews, and podcasts, appearing alongside other personalities, scoring more viral moments and rapidly building his media brand and online reputation, including notable appearances like in September, where he pulled up unannounced, and in October, when I personally got to meet him in person for the very first time. But even during these these casual streaming sessions, the street instincts that had defined his life for decades could surface instantly. When I met 4Extra, I really wasn't expecting his energy, and I felt like he didn't even know his strength. Like, a simple handshake low-key felt like a mini assault from 4Extra.
You trying to tell to the neighborhood, huh?
I mean, if you look after me, bro, if I'm safe there.
If you safe there, gonna keep
Nobody gonna keep you safer than him.
you safe there? How are you? That means you ain't getting no doctor. That's what you really don't know about me. If you safe there. You need to be safe there.
Listen.
Off the back.
I'm trying to be on your side.
You see what I'm saying? He's like the most overwhelming energy of any person you ever met.
If somebody walk up to you while you with me, that means they gotta be the president or something. Okay.
People in the comments would joke that 4Extra is the type of person to invite you to the hood, but wouldn't let you leave until you ran 10 fades. But despite his rugged demeanor and heavy touch, I could see that beneath the muscle was a good-hearted guy who was truly striving to change his life and make a positive change. But beneath all of that was still a hardened 40, and I would need to be on my best behavior. And I nearly even ended up catching a fade from 4Extra myself when I accidentally said a word forbidden by the Crips on a live stream.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Pause it, yeah? How crazy is it that, like, when all this is going on, you see all this in the background just saying, I'm
Oh
Hey!
my God.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's
I would have slept your ass if you didn't
No.
know. If you didn't know better, but
I'm
you
saying
don't know better.
that's what they say about me. That's what they say
you
about
don't know
me.
better. I would have knocked your
No, it's not like
you
that, man.
watch that.
It's not like that. No, but
you
I'm saying,
watch that
I'm
though.
saying, I'm-
It's Crips out here.
I'm not condoning
we
it.
Crip, but you don't see it.
No, that's fine.
You don't see it.
I ain't saying it again, bro.
All right, no,
Hey,
but
we gotta blur
literally-
that. We
Get
blur
it
that.
off the back,
We
get
gotta
it.
blur that off the
All
back.
right,
Blur it
get
off the back.
Get it.
Blur it off the back.
The C word occupies 1, 4.
Look how many there are.
So what?
7,
That's
8,
what I'm
9.
repeating.
Hey, I ain't seen nothing, man. I don't even know what we're talking about. I ain't seen nothing.
That's outrageous.
No, but I said there's bro.
Now, despite my deep knowledge of gangs, for the record, this was not intentional or a diss towards 4Extra. I didn't call him that word, and I was really just trying to point out the fact that that word appearing in the background of a video of me getting pressed just made the moment more embarrassing. But in hindsight, I shouldn't even read the word out, and I still regret it to this day. Eventually, I would go on to try and cop a plea and explain what happened to Whack 100 on No Jumper.
In front of a video game,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
as
yeah.
like the top scorers. And 4 of the 5 top scorers were the derogatory word for sea creatures that Bloods use.
So I brought it up, but I wasn't directing it at him. I was like, oh, it's a crazy coincidence that it says that. It's kind of like a
Well,
diss.
he didn't-
It's
he
kind of
know-
like a diss. But
no, that is a diss. That's probably the most.
No,
that's
but-
probably that's the original diss.
No, but this is why I thought about this a lot, because it didn't dawn on me until later that it's like, people
I've seen it. Right there.
people are winning the game and putting that in as the high score to diss Crips, right?
Or
it took
I
like
don't know.
it's like
It could be
so why is
or
that there?
It could be a square dude. That's really what they call
But
it.
while Adam thought that 4Extra wasn't actually mad, Whack would make it clear that 4Extra had actually very graciously given me a pass, and perhaps had I not been a nerdy fish out of water from the UK, the interaction could well have ended in a genuine fade.
Word. And I'm gonna be real. His response was kind of performative.
Not far
No, but-
No,
I don't think he was really mad at you.
So I
he
can't wear
wasn't
the
mad,
word.
but he was stern. 4X is a gang member. He's a
Right.
gang member. I don't want to call him a gang banger because I think he's grown. He's a gang member. He really from where he's from. So he knew that he didn't mean it like that.
Right, yeah.
But he was stern enough to let him know if you say it again.
Okay.
I think if you said it again, he might not would have closed fist you, but he might would have like smacked
Little
your
open
ass.
hand.
Boxer.
In another interview with Witty Apparatus, 4Extra would let his actual feelings be known. He was indeed tripping about the situation.
Don't matter if I'm doing an interview or not an interview, on camera or off camera, I'm a gang member. I'm from Westside 40s. Let alone I'm a Keyway. I'm a Crip. You get what I'm saying? So if you going up here with me and you knowing I'm a Crip, you get what I'm saying? Don't say certain shit. Let it get slack. I'ma sock it right the fuck out. I immediately got on him. You get what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? I'm not these friendly other motherfuckers. I know a lot of friendly and they joke on here. You know what I'm talking about? They get on here. Fuck all that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm socking your ass out on camera off the back.
The confrontation went viral, with people commenting that I was genuinely lucky that 4Extra was being so chill. I'm genuinely grateful that 4Extra was understanding of this mistake, and I would never want to do anything to insult him. But the incident with me was just one of many times that 4Extra would continue to go viral with different people off the back. Unfortunately, it wasn't only as a result of his enigmatic personality, but also his frequent run-ins with the law, painting a picture of a man caught between his rising fame and the streets that made him. Throughout 2024, 4Extra would find himself behind bars on 4 different occasions. Firstly, 4Extra would get booked on March the 26th for a parole violation, which seemingly had something to do with a firearm, as his parole hold would then be joined by a charge of addict in possession of a firearm on April the 10th. But on June the 7th, he would be released again, popping up on Instagram in 2 back-to-back videos that celebrated his release off the back.
Yeah! Yeah! I'm back! Yeah!
Vernon Avenue. Boom, Vernon Avenue. You already know. Dead homie. Had to cut me a fresh up out of this motherfucker. Dead homie. Come up this motherfucker like Wolfman Jack. What? Dead homie, I'm back. I don't know why they doing all that. Off the back, I'm coming back. What? Come get the motherfucker. You all really back now. It's over on the dead homie. You see it, dead homie. Better and brand new. Lock it in already. Dead homies off the back. What you mean? Off the back, I'll watch Chris on the field.
4Extra would be under the close observation of his parole officer, again posting 2 back-to-back videos that showed him sporting fresh ankle monitors.
Oh, dead homie, got me again. Ain't man. Dead homie, keep getting me. Zoom in on that motherfucker. Dead homie, keep getting me with this shit. Vernon Avenue, swept. They booked again. Ain't man. They got again. Dead homies. I don't know why they keep getting me on Ain't man. Vernon Avenue Crip. Dead homies. They ain't gonna stop me on Hood Crip. You can do all that you want. I'm still getting jiggy in this motherfucker. Dead homies, stay tuned. Dead homies, my show. Dead homies, 40 and me. Dead homies, June 29th, Vernon Avenue. I don't know why they stopping this. Ain't mate, I'm all down Vernon with this. All down Vernon. Vernon Avenue, you see it, dead homies, back out. Dead homies, let me out that motherfucker. Ain't mate, they slapping me, hit on that motherfucker. Look at that motherfucker. Zoom in on that motherfucker, vibrating already. Vernon Avenue, I don't know why they think they can get me. They can't get me on the dead homies. They not gonna stop me, dead homies. I'm gonna keep on that motherfucker. You gonna put me there, I'm gonna tear that motherfucker. Come back out here, tear the streets up, tear the internet up, tear this motherfucker, and I'm still gonna be down Vernon. Ain't mate, dead homies. I don't know why they trying to take a jail for this shit. Dead homies, I'm out. Vernon Avenue, I'm back. Vernon Avenue, and in front of this parole, Mark parole, ain't mate, Vernon Avenue.
However, 4Extra's luck wouldn't last long, and on August the 19th, he would be arrested, being hit with yet another parole hold. 4Extra would touch the streets again on August the 27th, appearing in another celebratory Instagram video wearing an impeccable peach-colored tracksuit.
Vernon Avenue, dead homies, I'm out. On Vernon Avenue, I don't know what they thought. They thought I was coming back. On Vernon Avenue, I'm out. Dead homies, XL. Oh, Hood, I done tore that motherfucker up, ran it up, come out here and tear it back up. To all the haters that hate me. On Vernon Avenue, I'm back. Off the back, I'm back. I'm about to run it up. Vernon Avenue, who I'ma call tonight?
However, once again, 4Extra's freedom wouldn't last long. Next time, he would be arrested on the 4th of November, allegedly in relation to a domestic dispute that got physical. But by December the 23rd, he would be back out again, posting yet another celebratory video, this time in a black tracksuit.
Dead homies off the back, I'm out. On Vernon Avenue, the dead homies. Chris on the field, dead homies. I'm out. I thought I was gonna stand that motherfucker. That's out, dead homies. Tore that motherfucker up, caused destruction, took over modules. It's over, dead homies, I'm back. On Hood, and I'm about to run it up. Dead homies, break the internet, dead homies, and it's over on 4-0. Prince on the field.
Each time the cycle repeated like clockwork, with 4Extra getting arrested, then released, then posting a video of himself bouncing up and down outside the county jail, announcing to his followers that he was back on the streets, and then going back again. But even between jail stints, he would continue returning to No Jumper, picking up conversations and conflicts exactly where he left off. However, unfortunately, a side effect of 4Extra's rise to stardom off the back of his newfound viral fame in the 40s would be a very public conflict between the 2 most famous rappers from that area. And I'm of course talking about 4Extra's more laid-back counterpart from the 40s, X4. When it comes to the beef between 4Extra and X4, there seems to be multiple rumors about what had sparked the animosity between these 2 former friends. One of those rumors suggests that the beef was started because 4Extra was upset with X4 after he showed up to an interview wearing a hat associated with the Hoover Gang.
Recently, you did an interview, and in this interview, you know, you got an H hat on, and you're wearing all orange, and you know, I think a lot of the fans see that and they're kind of puzzled. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You got the orange on, you got the H hat, but you got the HK on your face. They might not understand, you know what I'm saying, what's going on.
However, something this trivial seems like it could hardly explain the beef, particularly because X4 has been wearing orange together with the Astros logo for literally years at this point, with this practice of 40s wearing orange apparently a tongue-in-cheek method to actually diss and make fun of their ops in the Hoover that usually do wear orange. Clearly X4 doesn't have a liking for the Hoovers, exemplified by his face tattoo saying HK or Hoover Killer, with the H even being X'd out to make it very clear that he does not rock with that group. However, according to one rumor, the feud may well have had something to do with a woman, with X4 posting a photo of a woman on his Instagram story that 4Extra had been involved with, which some felt was a disrespectful move. This tension would allegedly result in a shootout that X4 would reference in his song Bald Head Man, which he released in February 2025, just 2 weeks after 4Extra was arrested on February the 12th for violating his parole, rapping, "He think he big like 50, I'ma pop him 9 times, and his boy got a bald head, so I'ma pop him in that MF in bald head. This would also come exactly 2 weeks after releasing the track Tag a Toe, a collaboration with Adam22, which also featured 4Extra in the video alongside X4, with the two appearing to be cool with each other at this point. But when investigative YouTuber Rich Trapper secured an interview with 4Extra's cousin Spotyface, who by the way shouldn't be confused with Jeremiah Spotyface Shaw, the other 40s member that was killed back in 2016, this rumor would ultimately be shut down.
So was there anything that happened between it? I mean, and I want the record to reflect, these 4Extras is not in jail over no female. They not beefing over no female.
Nah. You know what I mean? Nah, that's all, man.
Yeah, all that's a rumor. So Whack 100, all them running around saying it's over a female, that's false news.
The real source of tension, according to this interview, was much deeper, claiming that X4 was essentially not a good friend to 4Extra, only coming around when 4Extra was locked up and disappearing when he was free.
To be honest, I'm surprised he started coming back around. You know what I mean? My cousin said, oh man, it's because of 4Extra that he went back around anyway. So, you know, I'm gonna let the record reflect that though.
So that was gone. That was gone for a minute.
Yeah, when I was out, X4 wasn't around. That's a fact. Every time I come to jail, he find his way back over here. That is a fact. I'm grateful, man. He just allowed my own mascot. That's all it is. But a nigga gonna go contest that LLC or whatever he think he got going. He's gonna keep it straight moving.
He would also claim that X4 was simply jealous of 4Extra because 4Extra had gotten more popular despite only rapping for a couple of months.
The definition of a conversation, my cousin only been rapping a couple months. He feels what you mad because he bigger than you now. Like, you know what I'm saying? His song's better than yours. Like, you know what I mean? That's
The bad blood between the two escalated when X4 began claiming ownership of 4Extra's signature phrase off the back, after he had apparently opened an LLC in the same name, a legal method of trolling that was frankly disrespectful, but at least much more civilized than fades and shootouts that the Rollin 40s are usually known for. But according to Spotyface, this move was purely an attention-seeking move because his cousin had the juice and attention that X4 apparently wanted.
I mean, he just trying, as you can see, he's trying to do something to get him in the news. You feel me? He mad my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? Got the juice right now and the attention ain't on him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all he's trying to do. He got mad, got in his feelings. Like I said, man, that's coward, bro.
However, when X4 sat down with Cam Capone for an interview in March, he would insist that he had no beef with 4Extra, saying that he only heard 4Extra's song off the back after he created the LLC.
You know, I think everybody was surprised because 4Extra just did the song off the back.
For real? I know, I just heard that the other day. I heard the song after already, like, I got the LLC off the back. And then somebody sent me the song, like, damn, that's crazy how you just got that, because look, it's the song out. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, the homie made the song off the back.
4Extra would finally be released on April the 2nd, and true to his style, he would announce his release on social media.
Yeah, I'm back. They done f***ed up and let the wrong out. There's gonna be a lot of problems out here. I'm back. Off the back, I'm back on Vernon Avenue, Crip. Chris on the thing. It's the hood day. You done f***ed up. Vernon Avenue or nothing.
It's Vernon Avenue, I'm back. Vernon Avenue. Home sweet home, 410. 4 times 10. On Vernon Avenue, you know I'm at. DS. 410. Chris on the fig. All down Vernon with it. I'm back. On Vernon Avenue. Club hat. Ted on me. This is my life. Ted on.
He would make an appearance on No Jumper the very next day. When he was asked about X4's claim of creating the Off the Back LLC, 4Extra would disregard him, calling him a cheerleader, claiming that he had already held the patent on that phrase.
We got a mysterious talking about, you know what I'm talking about? My a person got off the back. First off the back is patent. That's off the back by me.
Oh, okay.
Off the back is patent by me. I'm saying that's our cheerleader. You know what I'm talking about? The person that said, you know what I'm talking about? He got off the back.
You consider him a cheerleader?
He got off the back patent. Look, we've been trying cheerleaders out for off the back. We've been trying to cheerleaders out for off the back. You get what I'm saying? Because we got so many fans, we needed cheerleaders. Now he made cheer captain. He made cheer captain. So you get what I'm saying? So if you want to go to cheer camp and you want to go with the and join the cheerleader team, you got to go through cheer captain. So he's cheer captain. You get what I'm saying? He been keeping it going out here. Big fan. He been keeping it going. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to join cheer camp, hit him up and sign him up.
Also in this interview, Adam would recount an earlier incident where X4 and 4Extra were apparently on good terms, where X4 had actually called Adam while he was with 4Extra to ask who was more viral from the 40s, with Adam apparently inflaming things, saying that 4Extra was more viral and asking if this conversation was the source of their issues, which 4Extra denied, saying that there were no issues, with Adam even trying to call X4 on the show.
So there was a day where you and him were together, and you called me with him, and I think it was him. No, it might have been you. And you called and you said, "Who went more viral from the set?"
Oh, you talking about when he called you.
Yeah, and you guys were together, but I didn't realize you were together, and so my immediate response was that you went more viral because yes, he's had some viral moments when he wouldn't answer the question about shooting at the guy or whatever. That was viral. We did a whole video together. That was viral.
You shouldn't answer that.
For sure.
Talk about no hood business.
But all I'm saying is that
off the bat,
you've gone more viral more times. So I responded with you. Was that the beginning of you and him having friction?
No, I don't got friction with him. The f you mean? I don't got friction with him.
That's not what we're hearing.
Look.
We heard there's real static.
No, it's no static.
I was worried.
I was worried. It's no static. I don't look, bro. That's my cheerleader. You know what I'm saying?
So I can call him right now?
Going, you get what I'm saying? He have no static at all.
So you want me to call him right now?
You can do what you want. I can't stop you. I can't stop you. But you get what I'm saying? I have no static or no problem.
If there's no static, then it should be all good for me to call him up.
Just told you can do what you want.
And
damn.
Look,
it was all good just a week ago.
Switched up on me.
4Extra would later deny him ever trademarking Off the Back, and denied running into X4 in his most recent stint behind bars, but refusing to speak ill on X4. X4 was far from the only rapper that would bump heads with 4Extra though, as one of the most heated conflicts that he had in recent memory is with Pomona rapper King Pill. With King Pill taking to No Jumper in April 2025, boasting about dominating 6-round fights against 4Extra's nephew.
Never had a chance to get a good fight until now, you feel me? So bam. We get in that motherfucker. And every round, bro, we go like 6 rounds. We go 4 rounds. Every round, I'm fucking him over. Boom, bam, bam, bam. I don't do no grabbing, bro. After every round, I'm like, I told you can't fuck with me. I told you can't fuck with me because he wouldn't touch my face. No time. I'm fucking him over. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, on the 5th round, he fall inside the toilet. Boom, fall inside the toilet. It's like 6 toilets. It's a little bitty space, like this much space, bro. From right here to the wall, you feel me? And it's like 6 metal toilets. Bam, I hit him, boom, he fall inside the toilet. Bro, 1 foot fall into one toilet and his fall in one toilet. You feel me? And he get up, and when he get up, him and his homie jump me on the 5th round. On the 5th round, him and his homie jump me.
Pill claimed to initially support 4Extra until he started allegedly lying, betraying street codes and name-dropping rivals.
Start seeing 4Extras going up, doing interviews and stuff, you're just like, oh, this is a perfect person for me to clout chase off.
Nah, it's not clout chasing, bro, because I was actually supporting that, you feel me? He followed me on the gram, I followed him back. I was actually happy for him because I was like, damn, this kind of relate to me, nigga, like in there knocking shit out. Then when he get on here and then he start lying about, he say he see the niggas from inside the mall, you feel me? Then he's like, then he be getting on here and he be like, how the blood said, get it bracking. Like, bro, stop talking about how the blood said. Stop talking about how the bloods talk, you feel me? Then he get on here and he like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Because the whole thing when he was making it big, he wasn't name dropping. He just, I did 10 fades here, and then I went over here and I popped the dough, and I did 10 fades over here. So I'm like, cool, he did his little fades. I'm thinking it's real, because I done got in fades like that. Because like I just told you, that was 6 rounds with 2 niggas like type. So I'm like, maybe it is real. You feel me? I'm not doubting it. I'm happy for him. But then when you get on there and you talking about, y'all talking about, I don't know, bro. You talk about the BSG. Then you talk about the homie from families. Like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of going outside your bubble. You feel me? You normally don't be name dropping.
Amid these feuds, 4Extra's freedom remained precarious, cycling in and out of jail throughout the first half of 2025. One of those times will be on April the 10th, 2025, barely a week after his release, when he attended the 40s Hood Day, despite warnings from his parole officer. That being the 10th day of the 4th month, or 4 times 10, the 40s.
Video. Hank did this, hey man. Rollin Avenue, the 40s does it the best. Shoot gang double, man.
But the warnings weren't just coming from law enforcement. Both Whack 100 and Adam 22 had explicitly told 4Extra not to attend Hood Day, knowing that it would violate his parole conditions. Whack was particularly frustrated, pointing out that 4Extra had been released early from what should have been 180 days, getting only 125 days instead, and the timing seemed like a setup.
I think they trying to set old 4Extras up.
What do you mean by that?
They let him go in April. Right before the 3-4 Hood Days they celebrate.
A week in advance.
4-6, 4-7, I think maybe.
As Whack would explain it, they had apparently let him out just a week before his Hood Day, knowing that he would likely attend this event with hundreds of gang members present, giving them the perfect excuse to lock him back up and max out his sentence.
let him out. They beat us in court out of 55 days. Instead of the 180, they gave him 125, right? We know he gonna go to the hood day so we can max him out to June 1st.
Despite the clear logic of staying away from such an obvious parole violation, 4Extra would attend Hood Day, leading to an immediate arrest and another jail stint, threatening his hard-won momentum. But again, being behind bars would not stop his ongoing beefs. 4Extra was released on May 21st, 2025, immediately announcing his return to the streets on social media.
Dead homies about to be a whole lot of problems. I'm about to knock your out too, Aaron the Plumber. Vernon Avenue, I'm back. Off the back, I'm back. Vernon Avenue or nothing.
And just one day later, the conflict with King Pill would escalate dramatically, with Pill even putting his life on the line, mockingly mimicking 4Extra's video, and again challenging him to run a fade.
Hey, off the back, I'm back. It's about to be a whole lot of problems. Hey, Aaron the Plumber. Hey, man, shut your ass up. You're supposed to be fighting King Pillatan. Stop playing.
As soon as 4Extra was back on No Jumper on June the 3rd, Adam22 would actively float the idea to try and get him to fight King Pill.
It's easy to beat a smoker that look like he smoked crystal all day and sock it right out that's out of motherfucking shape.
I don't think he doesn't do drugs.
Stop.
He's sober like you.
Stop.
4Extra would decline the challenge though, claiming that he wasn't interested in fighting smokers for content.
You got a dumb that I did think, my boy, that'll run around and entertain no bunk like that and entertain no bunk smokers. Cause Adam's smart, but I don't know what you got over and slick by him, but he did. And I'm not just getting on your bum smoker that I could just knock out easy with your out of shape.
Savagely calling King Pill a groupie.
Bring your dumb ass to jail, knock your dumb ass out. But when I'm on the street, you think I'm gonna go around and just knock the smokers out? Look, check this out. You a fan and you a groupie.
Fans would see this as 4Extra running from a fight, with some claiming that he was actually scared of fighting on camera. However, the most explosive conflict ignited with media personality 607 Unc during another No Jumper episode in late June. The beef would stem from 607 Unc dissing 4Extra while 4Extra was locked up, questioning his sexuality.
What are your thoughts on 4Extras?
4Extra probably got hit extra.
Wait, what?
That's all. He probably got hit extra. How did that doodoo ball? Come on. If
You're lucky he's gonna be locked up for another month.
No, gang. If you talk about that doodoo ball, you had to get hit.
Adam even predicted potential problems that Unc would have with 4Extra for the dissing, but apparently Unc wasn't too worried.
See, this is the problem we're gonna have now. You're gonna have smoke with 4Extras.
No, but listen, if Brick Baby can walk in this building and have smoke with Wax 100 for 2 years without seeing them, I can manage to be in this motherfucker for 2 years without seeing 4Extra.
Yeah.
Come on, gang. Stop playing on me. If everybody else could do it, why can't I?
Poetic Flacco did a great job covering this incident, explaining that once 607 Unc became a full-time No Jumper employee, an interview with 4Extra and Adam was scheduled.
607 Unc accepted a gig as a full-time No Jumper employee. He's now doing interviews. It's time for him to start doing interviews with more people in the building. Adam approached 607 Unc and asked him, hey, you want to do an interview with 4Extra? 4Extra is down. He wants to do it. Unc said, of course, 4Extra is viral, let's do it. Now, Unc is under the perception of 4Extra is cool with me. He never seen that miscellaneous interview I did dissing him in the past. Little did he know he was wrong. 4Extra did see it.
But even before getting on the podcast, tensions were high backstage when allegedly 4Extra pressed 607 Unc for dissing him prior.
When 4Extra walked in, 607 Unc asked, hey, let's take a picture, gang. 4Extra said, no, we gotta holler. And all people hear is 4Extra screaming at the top of his lung, I'll kill you, gang, I don't play that. I mean straight pressing. Straight pressing. I haven't seen pressing this vicious before in my life. 4Extras let him know, I came with 50 people. If your energy would have been wrong, you would have died in No Jumper today. He's telling Unc this.
However, despite these death threats, 607 Unc would keep his cool and continue with the podcast, despite knowing he was outnumbered, and he would later claim that he was confident that he could control 4Extra emotionally.
Before it started, he tell me this. He say, if you say anything out of line, we gonna kill you in here. That's what he tell me. And I'm like, you gonna kill me over content? He like, yeah, so you shouldn't do the content. So I'm like, let's do the content. And I already knew that he was talking control emotionally. So
The tensions continued on the pod when 4Extra seemingly threatened to kill 607 Unc again, saying that he would flatline him and go to jail laughing.
Look, this is what I'm trying to tell you right now. Watch what you say up on here, cause these think you can't be caught. You could be caught. You could be found. You could on the set, what's the name? I'ma get up on you, just like I just got up on you. And the first thing I wanna tell you, you gonna die right here. I smoke your and you gonna die at no jumpers. I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna flatline you right here and go to jail and laugh at your ass. Why you on a projector dead? And I'm gonna be doing burpees in jail, laughing at your ass while he's picking up my collect calls.
As both Unc and 4Extra discussed what had just transpired backstage, Unc made a comment that sounded like a diss to the 40s, and 4Extra didn't take this lightly.
You was scared, you was running, I was standing right there. I walked all to the middle of them. Tell them about that. When they walked in, I walked to the middle of all of them. 607 Unc. They kept on telling me 40s. I said, what the f that mean? Right? They all say 40s.
Slow down.
First of all, what it means.
First of all,
say what the f that mean. No, I don't mean it like that. You see what I'm saying? I can't say nothing.
Don't do that, cuz. Don't say what
See what I'm saying? I didn't know what
not
what I'm saying.
about to get you socked out because you did tell you done broke up to none of us.
I
We just told your right now.
I said
So I'm gonna sock you right out.
I said 6-0s, ask your little homie.
Don't say no 6-0, no nothing. Bring up none of my homies, cause you gonna get socked out on here.
My bad.
This ain't no Munchie B or the what's that, whoever the on 40s, I will sock you out of here on the dead homies. Westside Road. That's what you gonna sock your ass out. Dead homies.
Adam did it on purpose.
After 607 Unc left Los Angeles, he would continue to talk about the incident, dissing 4Extra from a distance.
Right, if he would have touched me, y'all would have saw something. Y'all would have saw one of these arms move before you saw me fall or whatever without. We would have got pissed. Yeah, I had a gun on. Come on.
Even going as far as to challenge him to an official boxing match, even putting up an alleged $50K for it.
You want to do a boxing match?
I got $50,000 for a celebrity boxing match because he an animal. I can't trust him. He gonna try to use his game for protection.
But even more bizarre were rumors spreading that 607 Unc had used some kind of voodoo after 4Extra had knocked over a supposedly haunted cup that 607 Unc had on the table. Whatever the case though, 4Extra would not accept his challenge, just like he didn't accept King Pill's fate. And as Adam would later observe, this pattern of declining fights was beginning to erode 4Extra's carefully built reputation as a brawler.
I saw a lot of feedback about him not wanting to fight King Pill that was not flattering, where people felt like, how are you going to talk this much about fades, and then when Adam has a fade that's presumably going to pay you well, you're just not into it? And I think a lot of people didn't really care for his reasoning.
But on the other hand, if we're talking about an official boxing match, there's no point doing it unless your opponent is on the same level as you, both physically and in terms of clout. But as the summer approached, it seemed like he might be finally finding his balance, managing to stay out of jail for over a month. But what nobody knew was that Independence Day 2025 will become the most dangerous day of 4Extra's life, when all of his success that he had worked so hard to build would suddenly be in jeopardy off the back of a single devastating decision. July the 4th, 2025 was a big night for Los Angeles residents. For millions of Americans, Independence Day meant celebrating freedom with family, barbecues, parades, and spectacular firework displays lighting up the night sky. I was lucky enough to be in Los Angeles for this year's 4th of July, and I was honestly blown away by how serious people were taking it. It was nothing but explosions in the sky all night long, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen before in English bonfire night or New Year's. Americans take this stuff to another level, and I was genuinely scared by how huge some of these explosions in the sky were. For 4Extra, it was supposed to be another day of celebration, content creation, and connecting with his community. Beyond America's birthday, he had every reason to celebrate. His music career was gaining traction, his social media following was growing, and he had finally found a way to channel his larger-than-life personality into something more positive, gaining hundreds of thousands of followers and lucrative deals worth tens of thousands. There had even been talks about 4Extra landing a big money boxing matchup, with it being possible that an even better opponent than King Pill or 607 Unc could have been just round the corner, as well as rumors of a possible matchup with another internet motormouth Aaron the Plumber, who 4Extra had clearly been keen on meeting up with in the ring, with Adam 22 seemingly working in the background trying to find a way to make this actual fight happen, apparently even getting offers from guys like the streamer Aiden Ross.
Are you going to be able to go to Florida? Aiden Ross wanted him on his most recent card, and I guess they're doing another one. They want him on it. They kind of want you to fight Aaron the Plumber, which would be an epic.
Wait, who?
You don't know him?
Oh, man.
Who is he? Aaron the Plumber is a dude from Stockton. He says that he doesn't gangbang, so I guess he doesn't have a formal set. He kind of is from the pimping world. At one point, he got 30 years. He ended up doing 5 years. He is, I'm not saying he's as big and tough as you, but he is a big, tough dude.
He got squabs.
He'd be on a lot of reality shows fighting people, and he's hella viral right now, and the people love him. So I'm gonna pull up a photo of him so you can get a look at him. But Aaron I guess he's a real plumber too.
I feel like that's a big money fight. Aaron the plumber versus.
No, that's for sure, yeah.
Basically, 4Extra was living his best life, trying to get more viral moments to keep his rise coming, and he was on the cusp of breakthroughs. Online, 4Extra had been seen filming more content in a strip mall, showing love to the people in his hood.
Bitches back to back. I'm in Forest dead homies and I'm getting chill. Little in the hood.
Hey, do your big one.
Baby mama on the side cause she mad as shit.
Get it in.
Right,
Crip.
I'm getting it in. Daddy though. In the hood on the block where I'm at though.
Cameras rolled as he interacted with his community, his infectious energy on full display.
Yes, this early. 4 4 times 10.
In one viral moment that circulated just before the tragedy, 4Extra attempted a high kick that sent him tumbling to the ground, much to the amusement of the people around.
Easy. Y'all think you can do it?
Easy all day. All day he got it. He got that. I don't got that. He got that. Come on, boys.
This was the kind of fearless, spontaneous, and unfiltered moment of comedy that had made him so popular. This excitement carried into the 4th of July, and 4Extra wasn't planning on celebrating with just some sparklers. He had big plans. As the day progressed, he posted a video of himself shopping for fireworks and joking about his big plans to blow big things up.
Vernon Avenue, if you know, then you know. On Vernon Avenue, if you know, then you know. On Vernon Ave, if you know, then you know. On Vernon Ave, if you know, then you know. And you know, then you know. I'm about to blow somebody else up tonight. I'm about to blow somebody else up. I'm gonna throw this. I'm about to blow somebody else up. I don't know who else I'm gonna blow up, but I'm blowing somebody else up. On Vernon Avenue, I'm blowing something up. Yeah, Vernon Avenue. You see this mother Vernon Ave. Mean I'm blowing something up today. Told him. Stop playing on Vernon Ave.
Wherever he decided to shop for fireworks was serious business, and their stock went far beyond your run-of-the-mill Roman candles and bottle rockets. He wanted M80s, military-grade explosives that had no business being in civilian hands. But what he didn't fully grasp in that moment was just how dangerous these explosives truly were.
Blowing up today. Over the back, I'm blowing it up. Stop playing CDs. I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you. Vernon Avenue, the back. I'm blowing your up. I'm blowing somebody up today off the back.
You see, M80s were originally military artillery simulators designed in the early 20th century for training exercises. After World War II, leftover military M80s would find their way into the consumer market. But even consumer versions contained approximately 3 grams of flash powder, an enormous amount of explosive material. To put this into perspective, authorities limit all consumer fireworks to a maximum of just 50 milligrams of pyrotechnic flash powder. That's to say M80s contain 60 times that amount, making their destructive potential in civilians' hands so much worse, with a documented history of gruesome injuries that your parents may well have warned you about. For instance, back in 2000, a man in his late 30s had to undergo hand transplant surgery after a fireworks accident more than a decade earlier had destroyed his dominant hand, and unfortunately for 4Extra, he was about to suffer the same fate. As evening fell across LA, 4Extra had prepared to light up the night in his own unique way. Armed with his M80s and riding high on the adrenaline of the day's festivities, he likely never imagined that he was about to become another statistic in the long history of firework tragedies. One viral video later circulated showing 4Extra being extremely reckless with a smaller set of fireworks, as he was seen running in the street firing a succession of fireworks without aim and putting the people around him in terror. Fortunately, it seemed that nobody else was hurt as a result of that particular set of explosives, but it showed that perhaps 4Extra wasn't taking the danger of this arsenal seriously. It's been reported that 4Extra may have been in a car where he intended to light the M80 and throw it out of the window.
What I heard, he was actually in the car and he was lighting the firework, about to throw it out the window, and his homie was driving, and that's why his homie, I think, may have lost an ear, this part of his face, and an eye. Now, I'm not even 100% sure who the friend is. I don't know if it's somebody that he's ever like brought to the office or somebody that I've ever spent time around, but and then in addition, 4Extra, I think it being, you know, contained was probably worse for whatever happened to his vision, because of the fact that they were in a car and I guess the window was probably down, but the roof and everything is going to kind of contain the blow. I don't know.
However, according to some, this unit may have had a faulty fuse, as it's believed that this M80 exploded almost immediately, causing catastrophic injuries to both 4Extra and his passenger. The M80 detonated in his right hand with the force of a quarter stick of dynamite, blowing off his fingers and tearing through flesh, with a particularly gruesome picture of the injury going viral all over the world, showing 4Extra sat on the ground attempting to stop the bleeding and assessing his injury in shock. Within minutes, 911 operators received a frantic call reporting that someone had severely injured their hand with fireworks.
3899 requesting additional unit and supervisor 43rd in Vermont.
899, can I get an RA for a male approximately 30 years of age, conscious and breathing, below his hand for the fireworks?
3899 repeat.
And his location. Turn 31 show is en route to the additional unit request.
4Extra would be pictured being taken away from the scene in an ambulance and quickly being rushed to the hospital where he would undergo emergency surgery. As the story went viral all over the world, it sparked endless speculation about the extent of the damages. According to people close to him, he had lost multiple fingers and suffered severe palm damage.
They're gonna have to take him all the way down to the wrist.
Yeah, he about to have a nub.
They gotta take him to the wrist. Cause they told me, his homies that was there said it blew off his 2 middle fingers, the 3 middle fingers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fingers and a thumb, something like that. I think like the thumb and another finger. There's only 2 fingers left.
The blast had also temporarily blinded him for about 2 hours. In the age of social media, 4Extra's accident didn't remain private for long. His accident would become the subject of multiple news stories, and within hours, images of similar M80 hand injuries began circulating online, giving people a visceral understanding of the destructive power of these illegal explosives. The public response was also swift and merciless, with countless memes and jokes flooding the internet. But it wasn't just the general public mocking him, his ops and enemies would also use this as ammunition against him. King Pill accused the injury of being AI generated, claiming that 4Extra was faking it for attention.
Listen everyone, on another episode of the Pill Talk, we have faking like they blew their hands off. We all know that that's AI, man. He's out here using AI technology and you can't believe you see on the internet, man. Let's be real.
607 Unk also made a post seemingly hinting at doing voodoo on 4Extra and bringing about his bad luck.
Out there on the West Coast, they do his hand off, man.
You know what happened? Unc put that voodoo on his.
Unc put that 607 voodoo on.
Yeah, he put that voodoo on his. They better quit playing. Okay, he put that voodoo on his.
Other internet personalities like Aaron the Plumber would also jump on the troll train, mocking and challenging 4Extra to a handball match.
Tell 4Nubs I challenge him to a handball match. Let's see who can juggle better in a real way.
Even members of the Rollin 40s decided to kick 4Extra while he was down, with one person posting how he was never really part of their hood. Even fellow famous 40X4 would call him from jail to make fun of 4Extra's injury and using his catchphrase against him.
Playing with them explosives and blew his off. Dead homies and blew his motherfucking hand off, cuz. Come on, cuz. Told you not to play with them explosives, cuz. The West Side 40s. Dead homies. He wearing them explosives off the back. Hey, on the dead homies. Ain't no more taking over the beehive down. They gonna beat your stupid. Hey, I'm gonna put my hand behind my back and cover, cuz. You wanna say? Off the back. Yeah, he got one in, good. That's funny. Hey, you know the Family Guy with the stick hand? Got the stick hand on Family Guy, cuz, on the dead homie. That's hilarious, cuz. Karma is real. That's the kind of smut this Crip is. I ain't never been a PC a day in my life with a dead homies. I'm a high power Crip, 3100, Baker Road, stupid. Dead homies. Karma struck quick. God spit the block for me. Off the back, 3D. Dead homies, alright.
Despite the hate and mockery, 4Extra still had people in his corner. His pregnant girlfriend posted hospital updates, trying to maintain hope despite the gravity of the situation. In messages preserving his fighting spirit, she claimed that he said despite the injury, he'd still be able to fight and put hands on people, with a viral comment of hers claiming that he would still be putting belt to ass even with this injury. His sister Emily opened a GoFundMe to help with medical expenses, raising over $13,000. And even Baton Rouge rap superstar Kevin Gates pulled up on 4Extra in hospital to check up on him. He would record a clip with Baby Runner from the 40s, who called him a real one and said that the streets love Kevin Gates for the support that he's shown.
Right here with KG, man. Y'all know the deal, man. Real came here, come respect to my brother, man. I respect that. Streets love you, man. For real. Straight up. Gangland, man. They bud. Pull that 38 on cuz.
Another Instagram carousel would circulate, taken only 6 days after the incident, with 4Extra joined in the hospital by his day one homies, telling fans that he was making a fast recovery and that God is good. Fortunately, 4Extra survived this incident, and despite this serious looking injury, it was only a matter of days before he was outside of the hospital, and clearly the injury didn't stop his hustle, because his first appearance on social media since being discharged was clearly a nice payday for him. In this comeback video, he would be seen inside of a clothing store with his hand in a cast, promoting the clothing brand Blue Strips LA.
Yeah, homie. Vernon Avenue, back there. West Side 40s, and I come to Blue Strips, because that's what I'm going to get. Blue Strips. That's all I get on Vernon Avenue. Off the back, that's all I get is Blue Strips. Dead homies. I don't know what it thought. Dead homies when I'm back on 40s in the hood. You know I 4-0, I'm back. Dead homies, I'm back. Getting blues. I came right down here and picked this one for a reason, because I get Blue Strips. That's all my pockets is filled with. Blue Strips on West Side 40s. I'm back. Stay tuned to the interview too before I f your tonight.
After this likely lucrative payday, it didn't take long for 4Extra to pop out with more content on his Instagram. His next post later that day would be another touching image of him back in his home, resting his head on his girlfriend's pregnant belly with a caption reading, "Life of a Soldier." That was followed by what everybody was waiting for, with 4Extra then posting another video which saw him delivering a heartfelt message, thanking his supporters and fans and updating them on where he's at with things and promising to come back stronger than ever.
Off the back, Crenshaw the Fig, Vernon Avenue, I'm back. Off the back, I'm back on Vernon Ave. Dead home, but I came to make this video for all my supporters and all my fans, and to everybody that show love and gave support around this world. That's what I came to make this video for everybody around this world. On Vernon Avenue, I had to make this motherfucking video for all the supporters and all my fans around the world. Off the back on the dead homies, just for every real around the world and every real female around the world, and to all the little kids that show support around the world. On Vernon Avenue, off the back, I gotta show y'all support and give my respect to y'all. On the dead homies, I love y'all. That's off the back, off my back, off the back. Off the back, I ain't gonna stop saying it. That's from my heart. On the dead homies, Vernon Avenue Crip, dead homies. Thank you for all your support, for all your love, for being here from around this world, everybody from around this world, for every real nigga, every real female, for being there for me, supporting, showing up, showing your love. To everybody in the industry that showed your love, that showed your support. Shout out to Kevin Gates that done pulled up a real Vernon Avenue on the dead homies. You forever locked in on Vernon Avenue, on hood. To every mother real around this world that shot me out, from the end of the street to the ghetto, to the blocks, to the streets, to the schools. On the hood, I love you. On Vernon Avenue, the back, on the dead homies. That's real female shit. On the dead homies, on the hood. And I always say, love it like you love it. I had to love that one, and I'm healing up quick. I'm healing up quicker than think. So on Vernon Avenue, the dead homies, you better be ready. Because this the only thing it did was open doors and make me a more animal.
From here, 4Extra would seemingly be happy to be back outside and continue posting. He would be seen in the studio reportedly recording his first verse and promising followers that the only thing that's changed since the accident is that the numbers are going up.
Back at it. I said again.
Back at it.
Vernon Avenue, all the mother way.
What they thought was gonna change.
I don't know what they thought they changed. As a matter of fact, some did change.
What?
The motherfucking numbers, cuz.
Yeah,
what
they do?
This made me worse, cuz.
Yeah,
10 times worse. So when you call me on hood, make sure you call me correct.
A clip would later circulate teasing a snippet from his comeback song, where he told the story of what was going through his mind when he suffered the injury and how it affected his mental state.
They didn't let me alive. They didn't
Said they done up. And they done left me alive. And I done woke up out the hospital and I done woke up alive.
Interestingly, he would use his buzz to promote his close friends from his neighborhood's music, popping out with a shout out for his homie Izzy Loke, who just released a new song.
Vernon Avenue, Crenshaw the Fig, neighborhood Crip. That's some of the dead homies, cuz. The hood, the homie cuz, Izzo, cuz on West Side Rollin. Cuz me up, cuz on West Side Rollin. He like cuz on neighborhood Crip. Got this sick song cuz I just did. I'm like, I just did a sick ass song. He like, nah, cuz. First off, cuz, I'm glad you alive and you well, cuz. I'm like, neighborhood, cuz, I'm rolling. He like, cuz, but I got this sick cuz. I want you to promote for me. I'm like, cuz, come on, cuz. He like, I'm telling you, it's sick on West Side Rolling. I'm like, let me hear it. Cuz, let me hear it. On West Side Rolling. I had to make this for cuz. I had to, cuz. I'm like, what's the name of the song? Cuz said True Ether. I'm like, hold on. Ain't that's like Kryptonite version for Kryptonite, cuz? Like with Superman and them? He like, yeah, cuz, on neighborhood Crip. I'm like, cuz, sick. I'm like, on West Side Rollin, cuz, sick.
4Extra had clearly not lost his positive energy, and he would continue to post himself outside enjoying the LA summer with his friend, not letting this injury stop him one bit.
This right here, I'm just trying to figure out, hey, cuz, let me use like $1 million or something. Can I use $1 million now? Hey, can I? I tell it on Vernon Avenue, I dress every day like my C-Day. I'm just trying to figure it out. Hey, can I use $1 million back there, cuz? Hey, cuz, let me hold like 10. Let me hold like 10, cuz. Could I hold 10? $2. Baby. Baby.
From here, he would continue tapping in with new people, next getting a tour of the re-entry podcast studios with Miss Contrary, continuing speculation about where his podcast career would be going next.
Oh, you the boss?
Yeah, I gotta go with her.
Yeah, I gotta go with her.
You wanna give him a quick tour of the studio real fast? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. You wouldn't even know it was all back here.
He all down Vernon with the cuz over here, holding out on the east side. Been through too much. Let's go there. Let me get on one.
We need our engineers, but we're gonna show you everything.
This started all over this, and then I go to jail the next time, and I'm in jail and I hear this on the radio. But I'm glad for success. I'm glad he on. I'm glad he. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he out here making a difference over here in this area.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? He turning a negative into a positive on the east side. You get what I'm saying? So I'm proud of him.
The injury clearly could not stop 4Extra's immaculate cripping, as he would then post another video carousel in a fresh fit, blue head to toe, and throwing up the set. He would also be spending more and more time in the studio, being seen recording and teasing a verse that he had recorded with buzzing rapper Blanco 15.
Like slipping dope.
What you say?
Passes dope.
It's a slap.
In the streets though. Look in the hood, sick though. Running down in the hood, we get sick though. Walk up on blow your face.
Unfortunately though, one of the saddest consequences of this incident was the strain that it seemed to put on the relationship between Adam 22 of No Jumper and 4Extra. Naturally, this being huge news all over the world, considering 4Extra's position as one of the most beloved recurring guests on No Jumper, Adam and the cast would immediately react to the tragic news, with Adam 22 taking to No Jumper News 3 days after the incident to update fans on 4Extra's condition and speculating on his potential return.
I have joined the news because, let's be real, something happened over the weekend. Okay. 4Extra blew his hand off. And obviously, this was an extremely viral thing to have taken place. In particular, I think because of the fact that he has essentially built his entire name off of, you know, threatening violence, saying that he wanted to pack people out, claiming that he won 10 fights in a row in jail, he never claimed that he put a carrot in his butt, but we all kind of, or in someone else's butt, we all kind of know that he probably did. And it took the internet by storm. And it was even crazier that it was 4th of July weekend. It was, everybody had plenty of time on the internet. Everybody's looking at their phones, hanging out with their families. And all of a sudden we find out that someone who in many people's minds was the most viral No Jumper host of all time, many would say, was now a man without a hand. And there were a lot of insensitive reactions to it that I'm sure we all saw. A famous gang member, a famous icon in this space, somebody that the people are so intrigued by, they'll just click on hearing him talk about so many different things. And now to know that a large part of his claim to fame is gone, I mean, I honestly kind of feel like I just lack the words to even describe how crazy and messed up the situation is, you know?
In the live, Adam revealed that he'd not spoken to 4Extra yet, confirming that he had sent well wishes and a voice note and that he'd been getting updates from his manager Lupe, and expressing disappointment that he had offered to go to the hospital but had been told that he wasn't taking guests, only to find out that Kevin Gates had then been allowed to visit.
Have you spoke to him?
I have not. I sent him a voice note. I've been speaking to Lupe. It's like group chat with me, Lupe, and Whack and Remo that has been kind of our main way that we've been finding stuff out. I know Remo's hopped on the phone with Lupe a couple times, but I have not actually spoken to him. Although I offered to go to the hospital this morning and was told that he's not going to be having guests at this time. And then I did see Kevin Gates there. So that was
shows you where you stand.
That was a little troubling. No, and
that was like a day ago.
That was like yesterday. The same. Yeah. I offered to come today, but anyway, like Wack was in the group chat, so Wack was tripping on Lupe, like, how dare you let Kevin Gates go there and Adam can't go there. I'm like, damn, I wouldn't have even thought to raise a stink about that.
Clearly there was some animosity brewing between Adam and 4Extra as a result of this. Adam likely felt that prior to this incident he had done a lot to help 4Extra, not just putting him on at No Jumper as a host, but also rumoured to have been paying him a significant monthly fee to appear on the show. So Adam was hurt that 4Extra hadn't accepted his offer to visit, but sadly their relationship would only deteriorate further when Inglewood family blood, an apparent enemy of 4Extra, and another regular on No Jumper, Munchie B, would share his thoughts on the incident. Munchie had already taken the opportunity to rub salt in the wound, taking to his own YouTube channel just 2 days after the accident to make some tasteless jokes about 4Extra's injury. In a video on his channel titled 4Extra Go Out With a Boom on the 4th of July, Munchie would address the situation, saying that 4Extra can no longer fight, but also saying that he shouldn't back down on the gangster talk with this injury, pointing out that even after getting shot and losing his sight himself, Munchie B is still outside and standing on business for his set.
I hope you keep the same energy, hand or no hand, you know what I'm saying? Because it's 40 Crip till you die, not till your hand get blown off, you know what I'm saying? So keep the same energy, because I do it. So I don't want to hear all the BS, you know what I'm saying? I got shot, done my vision. Guess what? I'm still outside. Still outside. Still B-teaming, podcasting, making music, doing whatever I want to do. I got the same energy from before I got shot to right now.
Munchie would go on to make a series of disrespectful puns about 4Extra's injury.
And everybody heard the latest and the greatest with 4Extras. He won't be giving out no phase. You ask for 4Extras? I wish I could give you a hand. I mean, I wish I could help you out in this situation, but you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, you in trouble, B-team. Hey, look, I got a little joke, right? Look, what did the robber say to 4Extras during a robbery? Hand it over. Hey, yo, Inglewood family. Oh, hey, no. I got one more. Hold on. What did the young lady say when she approached 4Extras in a party? You look bomb. I don't care if y'all think it's funny. I think it's funny. Yo, Inglewood family, bro. Talked all that shit. Oh, bless. See how life work? Crazy, ain't it?
This was already a very disrespectful way to handle the issue, but at this point Munchie was on his own channel with his own personal issues with 4Extra. But 4Extra would feel personally slighted when Adam asked Munchie his thoughts on the situation on the No Jumper platform. In another episode of the news, where it seemed that Adam accidentally ended up making jokes about the situation without realizing it, with Munchie B bringing attention to the disrespect.
We all saw it explode onto the internet. A lot of people thought it was fake. We could talk about that too, but it turns out...
say explode onto the internet?
Look, crazy, man.
See, that's the problem, man, because even...
Hey, you can't say nothing, huh?
Exactly. I already had somebody tell me, oh, why you dressed up like the firecracker that blew his hand up? I'm like, God damn, I can't even put a tie-dye shirt on without somebody coming up with a narrative.
People crazy, man.
Anyway,
I seen you donated $1,000. You're gonna get that new robot thing going, huh? AI technology.
That's the government. They got, yeah. See, look how bad this looks already. People are trying to get me to laugh, crack jokes.
Adam would go on to ask the room their thoughts on the situation and made it very clear that both Munchie B and King Pill had issues with 4Extra from the outset, and giving them the floor to disrespect 4Extra and justify their reasons for being so disrespectful, with a debate then taking place on whether or not it should be expected for the ops to make fun of each other when they get hurt, with it being revealed that Baby Runner had apparently admonished Munchie B for dissing 4Extra and acting like someone had scored a point against him rather than him suffering a tragic accident.
4Extra's lost his hand. Man, let's talk about it. How did you first feel when you saw it? At least some people here in the room, let's be totally real, some people here have a dog in the fight. Munchie had been going back and forth with him, on him, saying that he wasn't all he was cracked up to be. And then in addition to that, King Pill had been turned down for a fight, and 4Extras actually said that you were a smoker, that you were not worthy of getting in the ring with him, etc.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like it probably hit Shaw slightly different than it hit other people.
Oh yeah, man. I was thinking it was AI at first. You feel me? I'm like, man, this gotta be AI. You
Like
feel
8
me?
hours after it came out, he was still hitting me up like, y'all really want us to believe this?
Man, I'm thinking it finna come out the bag, off the bag. Talking about I'm back. I ain't believe that.
Okay.
So I'm like, I think the fade God did that. You know, everybody pray to a God that they pray to. And when you one of these fighters, unknowingly, you might be praying to these fight gods. And when you turn the fade down, you gotta suffer a consequence.
Man, there's gotta
That's
be.
what I thought about at the crib when I was faded.
You thought that it was? You think it's karma from the fade God?
There has to
From
be a
the
rapper
fade
going.
God.
I'm so glad I asked you. Listen, I actually gave Munchie B credit on the news yesterday. There's a clip of me talking about this when I first came in Monday, and I said how Munchie B didn't disrespect For Extra, and then a lot of people were pointing out, no, Adam, you got that wrong. Munchie absolutely was making jokes as soon as this happened.
I don't think genuinely that Munchie went as hard as he could have. You feel me? Like,
I mean, let's ask the mayor himself.
Selective politicking.
How do you?
Yeah, hell yeah. Because
Who said selective politicking? It ain't selective politicking. You know what? I said, let me just get out the way real quick. Like I said, only thing when I seen it, right. When I seen Munchie B little jokes and all that, like I said, yeah, he could have went way harder. But like I said, when I seen the jokes, I was surprised. I was like, I didn't think Munchie would hop out there like that. You feel me? And like a few people, that's just my opinion. Like, did Munchie do something wrong? Like I told Munchie on Munchie, like, I did something wrong. I'm like, no, you ain't did nothing wrong. Who am I to say you did something wrong? Like at the end of the day, like you can't tell nobody how to mourn or how to handle disrespect or how to taunt a person that's supposed to be an enemy or that you say but you know, just like I said, you know, I'm like, I wouldn't have did it, but like shit, hey, like, I can't get mad. I'm not mad, but
why people don't hold their own homies accountable when they do like things that ain't tasteful on the internet? You know what I'm saying? He do know it's a little dude on the internet programming from a cell that got a YouTube channel that blasted my social number all on his content. I didn't cry about it. And okay, he said, they acting like they came through and shot the homie. Whoop. Nah, we ain't acting like that.
Like people is celebrating like they came through and downed him or they put in some work on him. And a firecracker did it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say like the families or try to reference that.
Bro,
he said that's just how people will celebrate.
Bro, they do the same thing with this blind with me, bro, and the 40s.
I said that as well.
that was my whole thing.
If you on the internet, bro, your skin got to be thicker than the Montclair coat for sure. Like all that being sensitive for y'all homie, that's out. He entered this content, and then the thing is, they took out of the whole video, they took these two little bush jokes and highlighted that. But I'm saying, I hope he keep the same energy. Don't let it hinder him, because it ain't hinder me. I Ubered up here by myself before. I'm still podcasting, rapping. If I call a meeting in the hood, a lot of people will come. Just carry on, because how you is right now, that's what it is, bro. So get used to it. Nah. All that crying, I don't want to hear that shit.
Could y'all imagine what he would have been like if it was somebody that he ain't with? He would have been on here laughing like a.
Okay, but to just shoot him some bail, he never really engaged with all that too much. Like
I didn't like that. And I held back, and the only reason why I brought it up that one day because it fit the conversation. But all
thing.
I ain't Munchie B. What the you mean? And then if somebody trying to act like that ain't a knock on nobody. If
no, see, if my bad too, because look, because I didn't,
and I'll be like, I'm not young Ant. I'm kicking him.
Yeah,
it's a knock on him. And then they forget that said he'd knock me out. Because all I said was, you're lying. You didn't do what you said to the homie. And he said, and Munch, you know, I would have ran across. I would have knocked you out too. I didn't say nothing about that. That's cool. I mean, whatever. But you ain't never said nothing about much. Yeah, he did. I just didn't speak up on it. I just put it in my memory bank and kept it pushing. But they not be so sensitive. Bro.
Nah, facts. Because I mean, even with me, like I've had infinite jokes about T-Rail and his little baby arm. Right. I've had a million jokes about, I don't know, other people who got or whatever. And it's like, I would never make a joke about Munchie not being able to see. But then at the same time, it's like it's kind of hard to like blame everybody for making jokes about For Extra when we all have we've all kind of done the same thing to various people that we don't like, and then we kind of like we could hold ourselves to a different standard as people that with 4 Extra. Well, me and you, Lush,
Yeah,
to a certain extent. But, you know, for a lot of other people, it's very understandable that they're going to come with the most offensive possible.
Honestly, I'm really rooting for him on some bounce back.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Just keep the same energy and don't let it hinder you. I mean,
So Munchie believed that since 4 Extra disrespected him in the past, then he was justified in mocking his injuries. And Munchie would go on to stand on his points, saying that he didn't agree with Baby Runner and said that in this new generation of the streets, people are extremely disrespectful and this sort of thing should be expected.
Runner was saying like,
No.
you didn't agree with his points.
Hell no. I didn't agree with nothing. This a new generation smoking on ops, all kind of shit. And then they acting like he a little girl that got hit by a drunken driver. This ain't that, bro. Look. This the same dude that said he beat up on somebody just because they from Inglewood and he don't gangbang. Just because they live in my neighborhood, bro. It's hard to have compassion for somebody like that. Oh yeah, no, you everybody affiliated with somebody. That don't mean they gangbangers. Just because they live in my hood, you whooped on them. And he said this on the internet for everybody repeatedly.
Despite the fact that Adam kind of tried to defend 4 Extra and seemed to make it clear that he didn't condone the disrespect, Adam would go on to explain that 4 Extra's people were upset with him and 4 Extra's manager Lupe for sharing information about the possibility of him being blind to the public, something that Adam thought he was being told to communicate to the fans.
I don't know, like, all right, I just want to issue this clarification before we even get any further into this discussion, is that basically I put out a statement basically where I said that I had heard that he lost his vision, but then most of it came back. And from what I heard, people are basically, like, people in 4 Extra's family or like her camp or whatever, they're mad at Lupe because they feel like Lupe was the one who told us that he even like lost his vision in the first place. In reality, Lupe was basically like avoiding telling me anything. She told me, yeah, like maybe his vision was bad at first, but like he got it back or whatever, which I actually don't really believe. I have various reasons, but I feel like his vision is still very f***ed up. If anything, I think Lupe lied to me and told me that his vision had gotten significantly better.
Well, that's the family's telling you to say that.
But I talked to her earlier, and she sounded very upset because I guess that she got like a bunch of backlash from people that are close to him, family, etc., because they're kind of just like assuming that she's the one who said something to me about his vision in the first place. A lot of the information that we've been getting, because we haven't been like really in direct communication with people that are like super close to him, but a lot of the communication that we're getting is kind of like from third party, like one person says it to someone else and then that person mentions it and then I hear about it, etc. So I mean, I just want to say, anybody who's acting like Lupe is the problem or that Lupe was trying to expose private information about 4 Extra or whatever, that narrative is cap. So I just want to throw that out there first.
It would turn out that 4 Extra would take this incredibly personally, and he didn't like that Adam had given an enemy of his a platform to talk about his injury disrespectfully, with Adam later revealing that 10 days after the accident that he'd finally got a call from 4 Extra, but it didn't seem on friendly terms, with 4 Extra apparently admonishing Adam for allowing Munchie to speak ill upon him on the No Jumper platform and suspiciously inviting Adam to discuss the matter in person at a studio, a scenario that Adam quickly deduced was likely a trap that could have resulted in physical harm.
I did speak to 4 Extras on the phone on Friday. Now, I will reveal to the people, he was not 100% happy with me. He felt like it was weak for me to be on a podcast with people that he perceives as ops and to ask them what they thought about the situation with his blowing up of his hand. And I get that, because realistically, you know, this is an op-friendly podcast. There's a lot of people on here who certain people get along with, don't get along, etc. I think he even felt a way about King Pill being on the podcast. We can get into that Zest arc in a moment and everything, but he did feel a way about that, and it was a little bit of a threatening or like an angry vibe to it. Like, pull up on me in the studio. I want to talk to you. Just me and you. I want to talk to you. And I'm like, ooh, what are you doing 4 Extra? Why you acting like that? Why you acting like you're a little mad at me? What is that? And he's like, nah, just pull up to the studio. I want to talk to you. And I kept pushing, and that's when he revealed that at least the thing that he wanted to mention that he was annoyed by was me talking to people that he doesn't get along with about his hand or whatever. My response to that really is like, bro, we talk about current events. You blowing up your hand was the biggest thing of that week. I'm on a podcast with people that you don't technically get along with. We talking about it. I'm sorry, man. That's just how this goes. Anyway, the next day, and I haven't spoken to him since then. I actually gave him a call this morning, and he didn't pick up. I don't know how Lady's sleeping in at this point. But the next day, I got contacted by 2 different people in this content space who told me that they had conversations with him about his request to be paid handsomely for an interview. They both informed me that they spoke to him, that they turned him down, and then they told me how the conversation went. I didn't reach out for this information. They just reached out to me. So 4Extra is out there digging for gold, trying to find someone who wants to invest in his comeback tale. As far as if his return interview will be on No Jumper, I don't know. I'm waiting to speak to him. So I will have to leave you guys in wait for that information.
Aside from this apparently aggressive conversation and attempted jumping, Adam would also share that 4Extra was not intending to host his comeback interview on No Jumper, and instead was shopping his return interview for a reported price of $50,000, initially contacting DJ Vlad, who apparently declined the big ticket offer.
He reached out to 2 people in this space that we know.
He definitely reached out to Vlad, and Vlad was not feeling it. Vlad said that when he requested that he didn't even make him a counter offer because he just felt like it was so outlandish that it was just not even close.
He's standing on that 50 bands.
I mean, he's shooting for the 50 bands. I don't know where he's gonna land, but for sure. Then I mean, I assume he does one high-priced interview maybe at some point, and then he comes and speaks to me afterwards and tells me, "Oh, let's get back to a regular content schedule." But the thing about it is that it's like, you know, if he's playing hardball, I'm playing hardball. So when it comes time to renegotiate, who knows where we land. So you know, the people out there, you can all wait. You'll find out more information in the near future, but that's where I'm at as far as the 4Extra return.
Unfortunately, it seems that Adam took this as a betrayal, and he made his feelings known that he wouldn't be willing to increase the price that he was paying 4Extra, considering what he was already paying him before this to be an already generous price.
I personally found that annoying. But also, listen, if 4Extra wants to go get his money somewhere, by all means. Will that affect negotiations as far as how his future on No Jumper looks? Probably, yeah.
As it stands, it seems that both Adam and 4Extra are being stubborn on their positions, and it's hard to see how they're going to repair this situation. As a fan of both of them, it's heartbreaking to see such a misunderstanding coming off the back of a tragic incident, and I truly hope that both of them can patch things up and return to doing what they both do best together, making more of the kind of engaging content that made fans fall in love with 4Extra and his infectious personality to begin with. Like I said in the beginning, for those who truly knew 4Extra's story, the irony of this accident was almost too profound to comprehend. This was a man who'd survived attempted murder charges at 12 years old, who'd stared down rival gang members from LA's deadliest sets, who had walked out of a maximum security prison after nearly a decade behind bars and lived to tell the tale. Yet in the end, it wasn't a rival gang member's bullet that incapacitated him, it wasn't a prison yard stabbing or a RICO case or any of the countless other dangers that had defined his life. Notorious for his fighting hands, it was an unthinkable freak accident that threw his entire persona up into the air. We've covered countless stories from the streets where the lesson at the end is how senseless the tit-for-tat gang wars can become, but this story took a turn that was so unexpected, many people still don't know how to process this. In a video that I made reacting to the news on my second channel, I put out a heartfelt message that perhaps in the midst of this tragedy, this could end up being the best thing that ever happened to 4Extra, as the silver lining of this very tragic incident is that it may just force him to take a step back from the streets and the squabbles and focus on his truly biggest talent, his personality, his music, and his podcasting, all of these being gifts that aren't hindered at all by this injury. I'm really sad and hurt over what's happened, but I also think that I'm really hoping, I'm praying that something good comes out of this. I'm definitely, like, this is a bad situation through and through. There isn't any way that you can see this situation as a positive or something good coming out of this. But what I will say is that I do think that some things happen for a reason. Sometimes God works in very unusual, mysterious ways. And I do think that maybe, I think if 4Extra comes out of this with the right mindset, which I know he has, I know he's a positive guy, I know he's a switched on guy, he was in the process of changing his life, and this doesn't have to change any of that. So I just wanted to share kind of my thoughts and just a Reddit thread that I actually saw that I thought was really interesting, and it kind of spoke to me, and it really made me realize like how big of an opportunity this actually could be for 4Extra in a sad way. But I think the best thing we can do is look at this positively moving forward, and I'm really wishing that we can see this in a positive way. So somebody posted this on No Jumper Reddit. Unpopular opinion, but this devastating incident might have just added decades to his lifespan. Blessing in disguise. Now this really made me think, because honestly, 4Extras is the butt of the joke right now. Everybody's like, oh, you know, all of that fighting talk, now you lost your hand. Well, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I don't think it's cool. I don't think you score any points for your op getting injured in a freak accident and not being able to fight anymore. That's not tough. There's no cool points, tough points from doing that. And realistically, 4Extra was changing his life. He just got out of jail again. He was planning on completely changing his life, getting out of the streets, staying away from the streets, focusing on the content and the podcasting. Yeah, there was talk of him doing a boxing match. Like, highly likely that that's not possible now. But really what people had fallen in love with was 4Extra's personality. They'd fallen in with 4Extras as a character, as a personality, as this big ball of energy that you just put him in front of a mic and a camera and he just created absolute magic. And I don't think that's going to change. If anything, I think that's going to shine even brighter. I think 4Extra is somebody that can take things in his stride. He's taken losses in his life before. He's had serious cases. He's had dealt with going in and out of the prison system, winning fades, losing fades. I think he's a resilient man. I think he's going to be able to bounce back from this stronger than ever. I think this might make him a better podcaster. This might increase his chances because, one, look, I don't want to see 4Extra catching fades. Even before this happened, I don't want to see him fighting. I want to see him on positive stuff. I want to see him talking. I want to see him using his personality. I want to see him growing as a person, as an individual. All well and good, yeah, let's have a boxing match. I'm not even really trying to see 4Extras have a boxing match. I'm in love with his personality. I'm in love with him as a podcaster, as a personality, as a person on the scene. And I think that this ain't stopping him podcasting. Look, he got one of the biggest stories to talk about. He got one of the craziest stories to talk about on the internet right now. He's trending all over the world on Twitter. This is by no means a good thing, but I think if he just turns this into something positive, focuses on the podcasting, doesn't let any of this slow him down, doesn't let this cause him to crash out. It's unfortunate, but it really doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the trajectory that he was on. He, in many ways, could be even more blessed. I mean, he's on the radar of people all over the world, all over the country now. And for an unfortunate incident, I think could be the beginning of a really beautiful new approach to life where the streets is completely out the window and we're just focused on podcasting, personality, overcoming, and really becoming a prime example to the world of how much you can overcome. Because I know 4Extras as a person, I know he's going to be able to overcome this. I know he's going to come back bigger, stronger than ever. It's going to be a minor setback and nothing's going to dampen this guy's personality, bro. Ain't nothing about 4Extra getting toned down by any difficult event, whether it's this or whether it's anything else, incarceration, taking an L. I think it's going to be good. I think he is going to be in a dark place, and you know, I just wish him the best. I'm praying for 4Extra. Genuinely, I'm not really that much of a religious person, but this really actually had me praying. I've been saying prayers for 4Extra. I hope that he pulls through this positively. I hope that he actually finds himself in a positive place, being able to overcome this. I know he's got it in him to overcome this and come back bigger and better and stronger than ever. And I'm just really, really upset. I'm super sad to hear this news. Ultimately, for a man who has beaten the odds his entire life, this may simply be yet another chapter in his story of resilience. After all, 4Extra has never been defined by his setbacks, only how he rises up from them. I personally don't believe this is the end of 4Extra, it's only the beginning. He's truly lucky to be alive, and it's not unthinkable that had circumstances been only slightly different, he may well have lost his life in this accident. Now, he's more famous than ever, he still has that amazing and infectious personality that we all fell in love with, and now he's got one of the craziest stories in LA history to tell. I'm rooting for 4Extra to keep on beating the odds, and I'm excited to see where he takes this blessing from here. I hope you found that breakdown interesting. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and until next time, peace out.